celebrating 3 years of bringing you the very best in LGBT talk programming. This is
Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening, everybody. 7 o'clock Tuesday night. It is The Show with Clayton McKee. That is me, right here on the Q Talk America Network, coming to you live from our humble and chilly studios in the Q Talk Plaza in the heart of Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you for joining us. I am here in studio every week with the one and only Katie June, and Al Perkins is back from his hiatus. Hello. Oh, I guess I should take the camera. There,
I just
we are.
waved at a picture of myself.
And joining us this week, because Marnie is out of town, Steven Cerna.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Very nice. I like how you structured your appearance on the show when both these two are here.
Oh,
Al and Katie.
Yeah, no, that was by design.
No, I'm well aware. I'm well aware of his evil ways, Mr. Cerna.
I was so scared I didn't know what to wear. I said, Katie, should I look fancy? I didn't know. I mean, I found out that we were being on video like
2 minutes ago.
5 minutes before. Yeah, 2 minutes ago. Okay. 5 minutes before she was going to pick me up.
I said I usually look like a weird house mom slob, so I tried to dress it up a little bit today for my friend
Katie
Steven.
always comes in like a nice, like a tank top, and she's really ready to chill. And then she brings like an Afghan because I keep it so goddamn
Every
cold in
time.
here.
It turns into a Princess
Oh,
Leia.
I have a scarf in the back.
Yeah, the Princess Leia costume.
Her hair is so cute tonight. It's like Fern Gully the musical is going on in-house.
Should I flutter? I don't know.
I don't know what
They
that
do
means,
in
really.
Fern Gully.
Adorable.
I have a feeling there's going to be so many theater musical references tonight between
There's gonna
the
be a
two
lot.
of these
Already
two.
happening. Already happening.
Fern Gully, I think it's ever been mentioned before on the show in the over a year we've been on.
I hope it never is
Not
again.
once.
I don't even know what Fern Gully is.
I don't
Oh my
either.
God, Fern Gully. Wasn't that like a cartoon?
It was a movie.
Just kidding.
It was
That's
about
what I meant.
yes.
It's about women.
It's about women, fairies. Fairies,
yeah.
kind of like the ones.
I saw it.
We prefer hobgoblins
Now,
now.
Tyler from Tennessee is in the chat room along with Harrison.
Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
And
Harrison.
Danny and Heather, are those friends of yours,
Oh, those
Steven?
are my friends. That's
They
my
are-
boyfriend and my good friend Heather.
Oh, so we
Fallon.
have to be nice to Danny.
Yes,
All right,
please.
got it. So Al, calm down.
I'm friendly, damn it.
Well, here we are again in the
That's wrong
studio.
with the
It is
Piggly Wiggly. I smiled at the son of a bitch.
yeah, of course you did. That's just kindly. Well, Al, you have been on a whirlwind adventure. I swear. I told him when he got here, that's the most orchestrated vacation I've ever seen anybody do, because every day you were doing something, and I'm like, there's no way that
No,
just
it
happened.
really felt like it was well planned.
Yeah, like where in the world is Missy Al?
You
Yeah.
had lots of fun things happening.
How did you get the three of you, because you were with Kevin Dasso, Matt Morosky, and you, the three of you and the rest of the universe to mesh?
Well,
my God,
first it
you
was a
with
vacation
Kevin.
with Tim, meeting up with both of our
Oh, I
families
forgot he
in
was like the
Niagara
first
Falls.
picture. Right, okay.
Then it turned into like a mini class reunion, a wine trip with my sisters to the Finger Lakes. Then it was dinner with friends
That
in
sounds
Boston.
dirty.
Where are the Finger
The
Lakes
Finger
again?
Lakes.
Yeah.
They're in the central part of New York State. And it looks like 5, but there's really like 8 little lakes that come down New York State. And they have wineries all around them. They're getting better.
Yeah.
They the northern climate deals more with sweeter wine, so it's a little bit of an ick factor. But there's some good ones.
For
Some
him.
of the reds.
Sommelier in the house now.
Yeah,
Wow.
so-
Oh, yeah, big time.
So
It's only 3 minutes
was
in,
good,
yeah.
And we'll get really inside baseball. Then it was a little dinner reunion with some friends in Boston, and then we all got in the ferry, went to P-Town, spent some time there, met up with a couple people on Wednesday, and then took a pedicab, a train, a ferry, and a car to the beach in Rhode Island.
What was the
Spent a couple
ferry's
days
name?
at the beach. You know, I
John,
didn't catch the name.
Bob.
I rode her bow beautifully, and
I
then
bet you did.
said goodbye.
Sure.
Both ways.
Bid adieu.
I did. I unboarded her, or
You-
disembarked, or whatever the word
I
is.
mean, you were hanging out with the likes of Amistad Maupin, for God's sakes.
Amistad Maupin was literally stalking me at one point, and now I feel like I should talk because we're friends. We're Facebook friends. And
Shut up.
You know how sometimes that you like someone's Facebook page and it's just like it's press releases,
Right.
and then you like their page and,
And
you
you
find
get,
out
like,
it's
the
the real
actual-
It's
person.
them,
Secret friends.
right?
Yeah,
like,
the real
like
friends.
Annie Lennox, it's really her, and him, it's really him, and no one knew who he was. No one.
'Cause I don't.
It was driving me fucking
Yeah.
nuts. That
No, I
nobody
don't.
knew who he was. He
Lost.
wrote Tales of the City, which got made into miniseries for PBS and Showtime. and he wrote The Night Listener, which was a really good movie with Robin Williams.
What?
Sounds like a Stephen King
of
thing.
These things.
Yeah.
Okay,
no.
but no, it was
Yeah.
really good. And then he, his best book though is Maybe the Moon, and I'll tell you, I'll get to that in
Oh,
entertainment.
The
But
Moon.
I actually know a lot about Good Night Moon.
no, this
No
is
relation?
Maybe the Moon, and it's
Perfect.
about the little person that played
My
The
daughter's
Little
favorite book.
Prince?
the little
That lives
person.
on the moon?
No,
No.
that played E.T. That was inside the character when it wasn't like a robot. There was a midget that Steven Spielberg kind of promised the world to for being in there, and then kind of left her in the dust.
Oh, no.
And it's a beautiful story
Wow.
called Maybe the Moon. Just a great writer. So, anyways, he just kept showing up places, and nobody I knew
Knew him.
knew him, and I'm like, he's right there. He's right there. He's right there. And then we found out he was doing a reading of his new book and went to that, and it was lovely, and
That's so
laughed
cool.
and cried. And luckily, I found a room full of people who knew who he was, and we enjoyed him. And then on the ferry ride back, we're all sitting in a line. Everybody's exhausted. It's just all the luggage in the world. And this older man, I guess I can say elderly, he's like 68 years old, comes up to me because there was 2 empty seats because Matt and
Kevin.
Raul went to the bar.
your good friend
they went
Kevin
to the bar
Dossel?
on the ferry, and Kevin was on the other side of me sleeping. And he goes, "Are these seats taken?" And I'm like, "Actually, they are. They just stood up." And then I'm like, "I'm sitting inside. It's a beautiful day. We're flying through the water on this ferry. I'm like, I'm gonna go stand outside." I'm
Because
like,
the ferries are short, but they're so it's
"Oh
nice.
no, these are big. These
I mean, short trips. Well,
yeah,
from what
hour and a half. Yes,
yeah,
it's not
short
it's hour and
trip,
a half.
but it's so nice to be
It's
outside.
to be outside and get that breeze.
Oh, I
and
love it.
And it was a heat wave the whole
Those,
trip.
like East Coast good ferries.
That's the good ferries.
The good fairies.
So I looked at him. I'm like, "You
Good
can
shit.
have my seat." And like, my friends are coming back to sit here, but I'm gonna go outside. You can sit here. I'm like, "But when my friend wakes up, will you tell him who you are because he hasn't known all week?" So sure enough, like Matt and Raul come back. They sit down in their seats. My seat's taken by Armistead Maupin, and then it's Kevin. And Kevin
That's
wakes up and he
awesome.
goes, "Al got older." He's like, "I'm supposed to tell you that I'm Armistead Maupin." Let
me give you a little insight.
That's you. And so then they all chatted, and then he got up and went and sat somewhere else. But then we were in the taxi line together, and we almost shared a cab. And he'd realized he'd been seeing me for 7 days, and
It was weird.
Yeah, so they went somewhere else, and I went and got a pedicab. Like we both.
You're both thinking it was a little extreme.
I just thought it was so cool because I realized what a literary person you are because you read everything. You absorb everything. Plus, I realized those. I mean, I don't know how far back Tales of the City go.
They were written in the 70s.
Right, but then they were made into when was the
In the 90s, they were made into the miniseries.
Okay, so we're going back 30 years of this
Oh,
that
yeah,
you've
yeah.
known of it. So you literally got to sit and talk to him about this. these
Oh,
things.
and have him give a talk about San Francisco in the 70s and how he got started and I'll tell you about it in entertainment.
That must have been so
Rock
cool for you.
Hudson's in the story.
That's
and
that is so cool.
It was really fun. And I can't remember what to see next, but oh well, move on.
Well, we'll get there. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I'm sure.
But lots going on.
Oh, I saw Andrew Sullivan. I don't know, political commentator, used to be pro-Bush, big gay activist, but he was pro-Bush and kind of a conflicted gay Republican. And then just like 2
Don't
years
understand
ago,
them. Just don't.
two
And
years
you
ago,
saw
realized,
him in P-Town with his shirt off up on the box.
No,
when he gets in the
He
Maybe
Oh.
on ecstasy.
Let's get loud. Let's get loud.
I was at none of those places. But
That's a lie. I'm sure that's a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
No, it is. No, it isn't. It isn't. But 2 years ago, he kind of changed his story and realized that he'd been misled by the Republican Party and is now getting his mea culpa ready.
Yeah.
Of like he's not the biggest fan of Obama, but he's definitely off the Republican page. So
Yeah.
he was there. I think his lover
they
was in the
suck.
play we saw, and then Larry Kramer we saw riding his bike, and he is healthy and robust, hale and hearty, as David Van Bearden would say.
Good Lord, you
I
just.
know these are all names that no one knows but me,
Yeah.
so I was lost in my own private little paradise.
We'll be sure to listen later when Al informs us who the
Yeah.
fuck these people are.
Meanwhile, Kevin Dasso was asleep the entire trip.
Just for that road,
God
just
bless
for
him.
the trip
He's
back.
like that at karaoke every Sunday
God.
night too. I just
Al
want to
got
say.
older. I love that.
When I went to the women's weekend in P-Town one year, we saw.
Was there golf?
Fuck no. Well, probably.
Kate Clinton. I saw
Yes!
Kate Clinton. who's
Yes. Oh my God.
Armistead Maupin
Random.
is one of her dear
All of
friends.
those people that you could have like randomly said, and I couldn't remember their name. It's Kate Clinton.
Yep.
And it was so funny because I was with like a whole bunch of lesbians that should have known who she was. I was like the least lesbian of the whole group. And I went, oh my God, that's Kate Clinton. And she was hiding around a building smoking a cigarette because she was like trying to smoke in secrecy.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't let her do that. Because I was like, Kate Clinton, over here. And
You
I-
are such a good person.
yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
a real star fucker. And like, it doesn't matter if you're like an A-list or like an triple F list. Like, I love you.
And one of his one of
my
the
God.
last books of the first set of Tales of the City, she gave him the inspiration
that's
for
so
a
cool.
women's music festival.
She was actually very cool. She was like,
Yeah.
please don't tell anyone I'm smoking. It's a secret. And she took pictures with me, and it was fun.
I just
Cigarette
picture
factory.
She was
you
cool.
Right.
seeing,
Smoking.
like,
Yeah, oh yeah,
Right.
down below.
she's
it
gonna
was
see
really
a celebrity doing like a line of coke in the back of a
Right.
dumpster or something.
I'm sure
and be
she-
like, get over here right now.
She probably has.
Yeah.
She would do that.
Yep.
She will.
Yeah.
I mean, Steven Serna, the local actor, celebrity to me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, a little bit.
Celebrity.
Well, we are going counterclockwise around the
We
table.
are.
We usually start with Katie. We started with Al this week.
And
so-
I've done
do
in
that.
10
You
minutes.
don't
So
have to
that's
come
a
to me
fucking
just 'cause
miracle.
yeah,
I'm
but
a
we
guest.
still got 2 hours
Oh,
and
yeah.
50 minutes to go.
Oh, is that how long?
Now, Al, now,
like an
Steven,
hour already.
for a lot of people, some people like Danny and Heather who are listening already know
Yes.
you. We know you, but a lot of listeners, we've touted you as you are local. You are a singer, a dancer, you're
A
an
local
actor, a
celebrity.
hottie, a karaoke host. So let others know
so many.
who you are and how you came to be with us.
Well, God, I've known all of you for years now since I came back to Phoenix. I lived in Phoenix early 2000s, and then I moved away to California to work out there, and then I came back about 4 years ago. And I've met all of you probably through the bar scene. I hate to say, Katie, I met through.
We don't
Sway
hate to say it.
Dance.
We
Yeah,
get it. It's fine.
And
I was your cocktail waitress at BS
right.
West.
Yeah. We
I
worked
was saying,
together. Clayton.
I
Wait,
said-
that was more than 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I was a
I
bouncer
met
at
him
BS West.
I met him the first round.
Oh, the first go round. Okay.
first
Well, I
go
met him
I've
the
been
first.
everywhere.
I met him the first round too.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I met
Yeah.
him the second go round.
Yeah, I understand. But you're also a lot younger than us.
That's actually very true.
Remind people of that.
Yeah, so I've met you guys through all that, and then I host karaoke twice a week, once at Plasma on Sunday nights, once at Zorf's. It's the Zorf's now. The
Zorf's,
Zorf's,
right.
on Monday nights.
Zorfity-doo-dah.
I bartend at Oz Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 a.m. to noon, just to let you know if you're up.
Wait,
I
where are
know,
you? Bartending where? At Oz?
No.
That's right around the corner from you,
Oz
Katie.
Bar.
That is
where all your
literally
wildest
where
dreams come
alcoholics hang
true.
out.
I just want to let you know
Well, no,
between
t-
6 a.m. and noon.
You can't say that because goddamn Cruising 7th opens at 6 a.m. too.
And I've actually been there. Yeah,
Yeah,
at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
You
That's
and I
where-
were-
that's where I met you.
yeah,
that's
thank you.
true.
There's that.
For a 9
greatest
a.m.
guys.
early morning meeting.
The greatest people come in between 6 and noon.
Well, you know, I
used
used to think that was an odd time, but you have to realize in the way the world is, it's a 24/7 world.
It is.
So 6 a.m. is somebody's five.
I get a lot of the
No, you're
hospital
going out.
people
Out
I
from
get-
the restaurant,
The people
Al
from the
gets off
hospital.
work.
Yeah,
Restaurant.
And it's Monday.
Bars,
It's Monday.
restaurants.
Monday mornings is one of them.
Yeah, Mondays.
Okay, so I think
When you
I
get
have
off the
to-
restaurant, you should go see
I
him.
think I have to work
You
at
come
least.
over.
I think
My
I have
guys-
to work at least 2 Sundays.
My
coming
guys
up,
are
so.
really
Oh.
nice.
Let me tell you what. I'm up at 5:30. It's for a totally different reason, but I would love to come to a bar.
You know, I have
Just
people.
it's because my
Gotta
daughter
pee?
is screaming.
I have people
and
who
I
remain
wanna
nameless
rather
that go
come to see
before
you.
work. They have one. I'm not saying they get crazy, but they get one before they go to work. They just
I'd
need
like
a little
that.
pick me up.
What if
you
my
know?
work is being a stay-at-home mom? Can I still come for one before
There's
work?
always a bring your baby to work.
As long as you don't come pregnant, that's when I draw the line.
I did
just
come see you
go,
pregnant actually at Friends.
We got wasted
Not while I
when
was
you
pregnant,
found out,
by the way.
right
Yeah.
before you found out you were pregnant. And I
Yeah,
remember I
probably.
texted you and I was like,
Oh my God.
Is your baby gonna die?
We were up, so yeah, is
You
your
know,
baby gonna come out with bins?
almost no babies besides Mormons and the Amish would live if that story was true.
I know.
I was so scared.
Right.
I actually did though. Once I was coming to see him and I was pregnant, and I think I may or may not have had, a couple of times during my pregnancy, I felt like it was totally acceptable. Maybe you're a restaurant worker, tell me that to have a white wine spritzer. So I'd have a little wine, a little Sprite, and
Yeah, make sure nobody sees me.
I thought it was okay. Listen, my mom said she drank wine with me, and I turned out fabulous.
Hey, just watch the way we work.
So-
They all
the
did.
part
They
where I
all
start crying
smoked
is
and
Yes,
drank
yeah.
when
and
they were in the
it's
60s.
literally fine.
Like, most people turned out okay.
I
I'm
love
not saying
Barbara
it's all
Streisand
right, but
has a martini on
they
her
all did
belly,
it.
smoking a cigarette.
Yes. Fucking perfect.
amazing.
So I know, but I did come in to see you, and I remember because I thought the joke was really funny. You have a baby in a bar.
In a
And I thought it
bar.
was hysterical.
In a bar.
That is funny.
So,
Sweet
yes.
Home Alabama. Am I right?
Yeah, Sweet Home Alabama. I love that movie, and I still see people with babies in bars. It's so weird. Not my bars, but I go out to bars and I see them.
Yeah.
And
Weird
I'm
straighties.
doing musical theater right now, which is amazing. I've been doing it for the last year and a half. I got back into it. Right now, I'm currently in Hairspray over at the
Are you
Hale
Corny
Theater.
Collins?
And yes, is that when we do a plug?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm just applauding you.
You'll quickly
we-
learn.
we like to say it
Plugging
for
my
racism.
Shit all the
I'm
You'll-
applauding you because I'm excited for you.
Is that like Shut
No,
up.
No.
you'll quickly learn that we ring bells everywhere.
Anytime you want.
Yeah.
It's like, we got a tip over here. Tip, tip, hooray.
Right.
Tip, tip, hooray.
Sometimes that
Cold
happens like
Stone
that.
Creamery, if you ever go. That's what they do.
You're supposed to tip at Cold Stone Creamery now?
And Jamba Juice, they do that.
Tip
Yeah,
it.
Weird,
they
I
get
know.
crazy. So it's over in Gilbert. I showed you the trailer at Happy Hour today. It's
So cute, you guys.
cute. Yeah,
Kelly
like-
and I are going on a date. We can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you guys because I break the fourth wall all the time. Breaking the fourth wall is when you talk to
What
the
does that mean?
audience.
Which you're
It's when
never
you talk
supposed to
the
do.
audience, and you're never supposed to do it, but I do it all the time. I'm like,
Unless that's your
"Hi."
character.
Hi. Well, it's my character. I can
'Cause
do
he's
that
Corny
because I'm in the
Collins.
studio.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
So
Can
I
you
get
talk
talking
to
to the
us,
audience.
please? Please, God, talk to us.
But of course,
Invite
I
me to
will.
talk back because I'll do it. I want to be a star.
The kid that's
You don't have to
playing
invite her
Link
to talk
Larkin.
back. That's the sad part.
I will.
She
no,
will
I'm
talk
like,
back.
Shh. You can't talk to me. I
Remember
can
how
talk
you're
to
not in the
you.
show? Yeah.
Yeah. But the kid that's playing Link Larkin was on stage with me when I did it the first time. He's like, "You can't talk to the audience." I'm like, "I'm Corny Collins. I can do whatever I want." What are you talking about? It's my show.
And you're talking to an imaginary audience, so you might as well pick you might as well make it the
exactly.
real one.
Right.
But I had a bunch of the Oz customers. They were so cute. Shout out to my Oz customers. They came,
Oz.
like 15 of them came last Saturday. They all got
He
these
doesn't mean the
shirts
prison
made.
drama from HBO.
They all came together.
They all came
Because
together.
then
and
I'd
they
be
got-
shouting out too.
Right. That's
I
it.
love that show, by the way, though. But they don't do each other like that either. It's like they all got
thinks.
pink shirts that said "I love Corny Collins" on it.
Oh, my
and
God.
They
Oh,
sat in the
that's
audience, and they
cute.
were
That
crazy.
is so cool.
They weren't the most sober of audience members on in Gilbert. I
You're
will
watching
say that.
Hairspray. You're going to want to be a little
Yeah,
loaded.
well, these audience members in Gilbert have no idea what the Oz customers are like. And they
Well,
come
that's a
out,
good point.
And intermission, there's like 12 of them smoking out in like the front of the theater, which these people have never seen a cigarette in their life, I don't think.
The Mormons. Mormons in
hysterical.
Gilbert.
God bless him.
God bless them. There's a big puff of smoke that's coming from, like the fire department came.
Oh,
They're like,
jeez.
oh my God, we saw some smoke. What happened? And then no.
It's the customers from Oz.
Yeah, it's the Oz people.
God bless them.
Gotcha. So that's
So that's what's going on with
that's
me.
Steven
yeah.
Cerna, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Unintentional racism.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun.
dun, 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 dun,
That's what I
dun.
said. I saw someone on Facebook who in the last week said, I really need to live in Baltimore so that when I actually walk out my door every morning and saying, "Good morning, Baltimore," that it'll be like a real thing. I feel like we maybe harmonized, like maybe, because we were all on such
was
weird off pitches,
Yeah.
mostly me, that could have been like at the start of an incredible show. I mean, just
Well, I have a feeling it's happening later. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, I think this group, we need to go somewhere after this show's over. I'm not sure where, but
Well, I
figured-
haven't had liquor in like 48 hours, so I think we gotta get those
shit.
levels up.
C7
you
is
are
karaoke tonight.
dried up.
Where?
C7?
No.
Everyone's favorite.
Oh my God.
Stacy's. Wait,
Stacey's had it last night. They compete
Okay.
with me on Monday night.
No, that's good. We can go to Stacy's
Suckers.
tonight.
They don't have
Damn
karaoke.
No, it's fine. We need. We have to have karaoke.
Well,
Yes.
yeah.
C7.
See?
That would actually kind of be fun.
I'm a little
Well,
scared.
what's the other one? CC Blooms. No, that's a
No.
CC
That's
Bloom in
definitely
concert.
fake. Yep, not a real place.
It actually is.
If I was
Thank
selling
you.
a bar, it would be called CC Bloom.
Because somebody,
You should.
Oh my
somebody
God.
said, Margaret Cho makes a joke about somebody being offended that they walked into a gay bar. They walked into a bar and it was called CC Bloom's. They were offended that it was a gay bar. She's like, the only
You
thing
know-
gayer than CC Bloom is I'm going to stick it in your ass bar. That's
There's
from her.
that. On to Katie as she's chowing
she
down
shoves it,
on our
yeah.
food courtesy of Fez. You brought us some hummus from Fez.
I think
So
courtesy
good.
of Katie via
Well,
Fez.
maybe
Fez,
sort of,
yeah.
right over. But I just want to give Fez a big shout out out there.
It's no Fez.
Did you
is my,
guys stop
it's
for a
my
little?
favorite. We had a pre-show
Yeah,
bevy.
we
Pre-show
did,
bevy,
we
yeah.
did. I needed to.
You know, we would go way back. Like I know you guys do, and so it was fun to have a little catch up
Yeah.
sesh.
Absolutely.
She got out Prego, though, and then we couldn't do anything.
How many
I know,
how many
it's so
shortened
boring.
words are you guys going to use during this show? Prego, shesh, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on.
Listen, I am a breather. I think we've done that before. I breathe.
Okay.
Anyway, so along the lines of the shout out to Fez, this is literally my favorite restaurant in town. No matter what new restaurant opens, and there are many good ones,
You always go back to Fez.
is my favorite.
Right.
I've said that before. I'll say it again. And their hummus is amazing. And Kelly knows every time I have eaten there because I come home and she can't like be around me for 2 days because I'm like my pores are just like giving off garlic.
Oh, okay, got it.
But
right.
I am so happy about it.
Mine is-
Not her not being around me, but I just love the
Yeah,
garlic.
Molly's on Maine.
Well, she tried to lie
haven't
to
been there in
Kelly.
so
Can we
long.
talk about how she tried to lie to Kelly?
I
where we were?
did.
And we got caught.
I know, I did get caught. So I said to Kelly, I have to leave at 5 today because I normally leave at 6 and it's normal. And
Right.
I'm like, I have to leave at 5. And she's like, why so early? Because that means that she gets stuck with Palmer next to by herself. And I'm like, I just have some things to do. I said, I have to pick up Steven, and we're going to go to the studio early so we can be like prepared. And I have
You know
research
she
to
can
do.
hear this show, right?
I don't know. She's actually not an avid listener. Hey,
Oh.
babe, in case she is tonight. Yeah.
Love you.
Yeah, love you.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, and no, so it's actually good because God knows the things I've said on this show.
I
I was telling him, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
God does know.
Jesus, because I would be single, probably.
I know.
And
I'm worried my boyfriend's listening. This is
No.
scary. Hey.
Don't say anything that might lead to
Hey.
don't
Stop
say
it.
anything that might lead to
Turn it
La
off.
don't
Clinica.
talk about your STDs from junior high.
La Clinica.
Oh, not
He
junior
doesn't
high.
wanna know
No,
about
just
all
junior
Junior high.
high. That was
Yours
way
were just-
too early.
yeah.
Way too
Nantucket
early for
is
the
what I
STD
meant.
story.
Nantucket. So anyway, I said to Kelly, I have to go pick up Steven. We have a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
And then she called, and I like have to answer, because she might need something. And she goes, ask me questions, and I'm trying to get off the phone real quick so she won't hear the music in the background at Fez.
Yeah.
And sure enough, she's like, wait, hold on, I'm not done. And I'm like, okay, gotta go. And she goes, wait, where are you? And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm at Fez. And she goes, oh, that's your research, right? Real
Yeah.
important research. I'm like,
It was.
yes.
We have to ask questions about how hummus is made,
It
where
is.
hummus is made,
I know.
who makes the hummus, how does it get to the table,
I know. I'm
how
like,
do we
it's
consume it.
such important research. She's like,
Jeez.
don't research too much before you drive home. Okay, babe.
Yeah.
Love you.
But their customer service is really good there.
They are
like everyone was
cute.
like, "Are you ready to order? Are
Luke?
you ready to order?" And then like someone came down from the ceiling and was like, "Are you
Are
ready,
you ready to order?"
Like all Mission Impossible
Cirque
style.
du
It was
Fez
crazy.
came down.
Lukey
they spun
Pants,
around.
little cutie patookie
It
Luke.
was crazy.
Yeah.
Cute.
So cute.
Behind the bar, Luke.
I think I've said
Yeah.
that before, but he is so cute. He remembered both of our names.
Well,
So
There you go.
Well, kind of. He was like Steven Sir.
Oh,
and, yeah, that's
Nah.
actually true. He
okay,
goes like
that's
this.
bullshit. We're
He
going to
goes like
judge
this.
about not knowing last names
He goes,
now.
and he's like, Steven. He goes, Serna. And then he looks at me and he goes,
His sing voice.
and I'm like, Katie.
Just,
So he learns first syllables.
just pretend it's the way we were joking.
It's all
Katie.
He got the
beautiful
alphabet
Katie.
right.
Yeah. Let me tell you about my week. It was great.
Yeah.
I had a really fun weekend. I went to the lake
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Can we go back to your lake visit for just a minute? Because those people who are avid listeners to this show, since Katie joined us, realize that Katie's gone through, I don't know, in all the months you've been here, I don't know, 7, 8 different diets. Now, last Monday, I believe it was last Monday, you started a new diet called the paleo diet.
I did.
And then I wrote the time down. I think at the time, I think it was like 36 hours you were into it by the time we went on the air
Yeah.
on Tuesday, a week ago tonight.
Yeah.
You're already off the diet.
Yeah, surprise.
Because you went to the lake and had Oreos and realized, fuck the diet.
Let me tell you what sucks. So I did so well all week. And so like I've been on Weight Watchers for like 2 years.
Now, is that where other people are watching your weight?
I
What does that
mean,
mean?
That's what the world's-
That's like supposed to be.
Okay.
So I was doing so well. I lost like 20 pounds, and I've kept that off. But then I've been into plateau for the last 8 or 9 months, and so I keep trying to like do things to jumpstart. But I think the problem is I'm fitting to all of my jeans. Like, mother, god damn it, I need to like get rid of all of my clothes because I had gained a bunch of pregnancy weight. And then I lost all of that, and now I'm fitting back into my clothes. But
You
what
refuse to wear those mom jeans,
I
right?
knew, yeah,
No.
not happening. So anyway, for the last 8 or 9 months, I've tried all these horrible, ridiculous, as you well know, diets. And last Monday it was paleo. I literally told you that it would be 2 weeks. It didn't even last 2 weeks. I thought for
I think it
sure.
lasted 2 days.
I thought
I
5
wanted-
days was very optimistic.
I wanted to be at my peak physical performance
for Dancing with the Bars, which is next Sunday.
no shit. And I thought I could do anything for 2 weeks. Turns out I can't. Actually, not even 1 week, as a matter of fact, because
Well, I'm sorry,
Saturday.
caveman food.
Fuck, we went to the boat, and I actually bought some
Caveman food.
I
That's what.
know.
Yeah, that's how my boyfriend describes
Yes,
it. Caveman
that's
food.
totally it.
And
And
I'm
I-
like, every time we go out to eat, it's like a caveman didn't order that.
No,
you
you
can't
can't
eat that. What
eat
did
hummus.
caveman
Oh, is
eat,
he
though?
saying
It's
he's
like,
on that too?
Oh yeah, he tries, but it never happens.
Paleo light.
It's embarrassing.
Paleo adjacent.
Oh God! Remember when I was gluten light for like 8 weeks? And hummus, you can't have that. That sucks. Clearly the bread, but. We went on the boat, and I was so excited. I brought Skinny Girl margaritas because I'm like, that's really low sugar.
Drinking it tonight.
Totes
Drinking
fine.
it tonight.
And I got out there, and the boys who we were with, really cute gays, of course. Those bitches brought like a cocktail spread. They made their homemade simple syrup. They had fresh lemon juice. They had fucking fresh basil. They were shaking.
You were with
cocktails.
the shiny shirt gays.
I really was.
I live in fear. I live in
homemade
fear of them.
simple syrup is sugar and water.
Yeah, no, I've made it. I made
Was Mark Martinez with you?
cucumber.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
really cute. Travis Shoemake and Zach, don't know his last name, but Travis works down at the Palomar. I don't know if you guys know him.
this
He's
is bad.
okay. That
Sorry.
was bad timing because I'm like, Travis, you making them, and you're like,
Oh,
"Ugh."
sorry. I'm sorry. I just drank my Skinny Girl.
told you it's
Skinny Mints.
terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, vodka.
No,
The,
it needs
the
tequila.
white peach is
It wasn't
better.
against you, Travis.
It needs
Wait, peach is better.
sugar.
It needs something.
Beginning of hour 2, we're making a whole nother drink,
We
so
got
don't worry
it.
about
We
that.
got
Well, we
shit.
can
you
throw
unlocked.
those in. We can throw them in
Yeah,
the blender.
absolutely, we can.
So we go with these really, very cute gays, and they had a shaking station. So all the girls we're with have like Michelob
shaking
Ultras,
station, yeah.
and I'm not like a lesbian, so I need to drink the cute gay boy, like
Yeah.
shiny drink,
Right.
And like 2 of them, and I was already like doing backflips off the boat. So cut to, I'm shoving Oreos and Cheetos in my face. I took a vegetable tray, and I'm like, "That's all I'm
'Cause
on a
that's
weird.
the gay
I'm on a
thing to
diet.
do.
That's all I'm gonna eat." And I was
And that was the only
eating
thing left, right? When the boat came back. Completely
Oreos and
untouched.
veggie. Yeah, the
No,
veggies.
the veggie
yeah.
tray was completely
Well,
untouched.
then the worst part is they're like, just dump it in the lake. And I'm like, sure. But I was like drunk enough of these stupid simple syrup drinks that I poured all of the plastic. It was bad. I was like a weird polluter, and I ate Oreos, and I was like the antithesis of paleo in every
Wow.
Yeah,
form.
5 days of starving yourself leads to bad decisions.
That's really bad. So then I gave up, and I've
Well,
been
you look
eating bread ever
amazing
None
since.
of your
today, though.
none of your stories ever turn out where you look good in the story. Why is that?
No, but you
I
look
think
good
you
for
look
real.
gorgeous
It's just
No, no,
always.
no,
Yeah,
no,
you don't
right.
need none of these crazy
Yeah, because
diets.
my real life Clayton is a hot mess.
Yeah.
So I'm just
Can't
being,
tell.
at least I'm honest.
That's a fact.
I put it
No,
out there.
Katie's an honest woman.
I
She
am
is
honest.
an honest woman. She's not the best lesbian. She wants to be a gay man somehow. in a
Isn't that
shiny
weird?
She
shirt.
is a gay
little
man.
bit.
She always.
Yeah.
I've always
Yeah.
thought that about her.
Yeah.
Years ago,
Kinda true.
Even long ago when I did bingo at Mary's, you were. I mean, yeah. I mean,
You were my favorite.
She was the best girl boy that we had in the,
Amazing.
in the bar.
I went for beer though, and the little trips to the beach that we would go to.
Yeah.
We would rented bikes. I was the only one that got a basket, so we had all
You're
these
also
purses.
sort of you're sort of like a girly gay, so
But it was a milk crate attached to the thing in the back, the little gate that they
Yes,
usually put
good.
that
Okay.
you can put like the
lesbians
baskets
would
on.
surf
Yes,
on that.
yes.
You put a
Right.
crate on it.
So they put a crate on it, and we had like purses and bags to get everything to the beach on our bikes.
Sure.
And for the
Come on, knock
compromise,
on my
'cause we only-
door. I'll be waiting for you.
Yeah. He was
But
Mr. Furley.
So we drank beer because we had to compromise, and that Matt and Kevin were like, well, we can drink beer, and I'm like,
Not
all right.
really, but maybe.
Yeah, so
I'll drink salt water from the ocean.
So we went with like the perfectly legitimate Miller Lite, which is friendly, and then Matt came up with Miller Lite makes me pee too much because he just can't say I don't like Miller Lite.
Did you post that on your Facebook? Because I
No,
feel like
I made
saw
fun
that.
of him all
okay.
day long. Everything that he said, I'm like, does that make you pee too much? Like,
Okay.
it makes no sense. So then he went to Heineken, and we got through that. And the
Tastes
third
like
day
pee.
the third day it was Corona in a can.
Yeah, I could do that before I could do any of those others.
So we would not give
Heineken's-
him anything good to drink. Like, we were
Oh my
like,
God.
you have to drink this for the rest of the week because you made us buy
Stella.
it.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh, there's that.
Yeah, it's so
No,
bad.
You don't
that's-
like Stella?
That's not available.
It
at
tastes
Stella.
like dirty feet.
Oh my god, it's so good. Oh,
But
my
if
friend
I go
Heather's
to,
gonna
like-
kill
But
you.
he likes
No,
dirty
sorry,
feet.
Heather.
This had
No.
to come in a can and go into
gotta
the
have
ocean with us. You know
Oh
what I
wait,
mean?
I need to pull
Patron
up our
with it.
business and see what
And then
Heather
it
has to say
tastes
about that.
Really
All right.
good. She's gonna freak out.
Clayton,
right
your
now.
week?
Wrapping up the week. Well, I realized Al, you weren't here with us last week, but the cold that I had contracted in San Diego went full cycle.
sounds
and
like
I'm
it.
and I'm not
Yeah.
back.
Oh.
Vocally,
Are you okay?
vocally, I'm not back. Everything else is fine. And it was just it was like a respiratory thing or something that. But I went through that. But everything else, I just stayed home a lot this week. And the funny thing is, it's really funny when you drop out of the normal circles, everybody freaks out and wonders if you're okay. And like, it's nice to see who comes out of the woodwork to find out if you're still functioning as a
Yeah.
human.
Well, you're such a staple in the community. Of course, they'd be like, "Where? What's happening?"
And you have
What's
just
going on?
solidified your second appearance on this show.
There you go.
Ding, 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 ding.
I dropped out 7 years ago, so people are looking for my gravesite. Where did they bury him?
So who
I'll
is
be back next week.
who is this Al Perkins that's on your show? I seem to remember an Al years
Al
ago.
who?
Yeah, no. So there's that. Just catching up on a lot of work. I actually updated a computer system for an entire bar today. A bunch of other stuff, just normal. But staying
By the
home has
way,
been
I
interesting.
gotta give another shout out to you. Every time I call this man, because I think it's funny how when I move to another bar, you're like, "Wait, what? You're at that bar now?" And then I have to call you and be like, "I have a problem with the computer," and you are on top of it right away. I gotta just say that, even though
The support gets a little sketchy about
Yeah.
midnight because I'm just letting you know that I
well,
drink.
I know when
you
to
know.
call you, and then I know when to call
I know, but a lot of the
everyone
bars
else.
don't know when to call.
You
Yeah.
are number one on my list, and then Tammy's number two.
Yeah, well, you're never getting anything out of Tammy.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh my god!
No, I'm just
I
saying.
love Tammy, I
Scandal.
love
No,
you.
I love
If you're
Tammy
watching.
too. I just know that like if it's majorly hardware stuff,
Yeah.
Tammy can tell you how to run everything software wise, but hardware
Yeah.
I got. She
That's
just
how you
amazing.
split the
pretty much
the work.
She's not as fluent with all the hardware stuff as I am, but it's all right.
Who's Tammy?
Tammy Bobs.
Tammy
She's
Bobs.
The,
Tammy
the-
Bobs.
the
Oh
new-
my God.
The new manager of BS West.
Tammy Bops.
Okay.
I told you about that.
She's literally been at BS West.
Are you joking?
Since
You're
as long as
kidding.
I've been alive. So
You know
when
Tammy.
were you born?
No, I actually don't.
Tammy used to manage a bar out
What is on my
in
head?
Chandler.
Oh, the wild
yeah,
card.
that wild
The wild
card.
card
oh
out
my
in
God,
Chandler.
way back
Oh,
in the day.
yeah.
And now-
no, seriously, I've been to BS West like 4 times since I left 7 years
Yeah.
ago. Maybe 5.
Me
Well, yeah,
too.
If you walk in, whole new staff.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean,
Except Michael, he's
Who-
there.
They don't know me.
Well, who doesn't?
the last time I was there was with you, and I stayed out on the patio, and I only talked to people that were on the patio. Like, I wouldn't go back inside.
People you remembered.
Not because I think anything bad of it. I just...
But I'm so surprised you don't know Tammy.
I did 20 years
I
there.
am
Because like
too.
I know
I
you
really
were
am.
at BS West for a long time, but to
Yeah.
me, I came after you. So
Right.
to me, BS West, Tammy is BS West,
Right.
Right.
and that's what's wild card is BS West.
So I was the 20 years prior to her getting
you were
there.
the
Right.
Tammy pre-Tammy.
Yeah,
okay.
seriously, for 20 years.
Yeah.
You were there.
I must have come in like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I
Was
Was
can't.
it
Yeah,
90
I guess I.
or excuse me, 90?
I drank there from 86 to 96, and I,
I came
worked
onto
there from
the scene-
96 to 06.
Oh, I came
my
onto the
God.
scene at in
those days
before
are-
that actually. So I did come into the scene
Yeah.
maybe when you were still there, but we just didn't know each other then.
If you were ever there for karaoke before 06.
She was singing
Yeah, good.
something Donna Summer. I'm pretty sure.
No.
Oh.
Almost never Donna Summer.
I wanted-
I only saw him a couple times at Wings. I don't have. I used to sing Bad Girls every once in a while.
Yeah.
But I have to be
Girls.
really, really drunk, or it has to be my 30th birthday for me to think I'm gonna pull off.
No,
Last
he's
Dance.
Okay,
lying.
wait.
He just said he only saw me a few times at Winks. That's a lie.
Oh no, but for karaoke,
Okay, because
where I would sing.
Did you
that
guys go
song.
home together?
No.
Wait,
he's
two-
white.
No. I answered right away. No,
wait,
no, we
wait,
never
wait,
did
wait.
that.
He's white and older than me.
Two super quick things. The first is I'm having a hard time. My page is unresponsive here on QTalkAmerica.com.
Mine was too a minute ago.
I wonder if anyone else is.
By the way, if
I
you're
can't
tuning
change.
in and
What?
watching, I have just Notepad over here. I wasn't told to bring a computer.
I know,
so
I'm really
like
bad
old
friend.
school.
I did
I
tell
feel
you.
like Elle Woods in that first day of class where she showed up and everyone had a computer and I had my Notepad.
With your, on
I
your hand,
told-
you're like feather pen on your hand. You're
No,
like, anyway.
I totally told you. If you go back to your Facebook messaging that I sent you.
Yeah, so I didn't do anything wrong.
I told
Boom.
you to
Awful.
bring stuff. You can bring.
But
You
Deion
said
Brown-
bring liquor, and I was
Well, that's-
fine with that.
And
I
he
had
did
the
actually
bag.
show
That
with a
was
lot
at
of
the
liquor.
top
That's
of
where
the
he
list.
stopped reading.
I was like, yeah,
Alright,
liquor,
liquor,
done.
check.
I was already like, my butt was hanging out of my like refrigerator, if you could see it, like just like picking everything up.
There's that.
Second thing is I wanted to tell you, Alex, I felt like a proud friend of yours when
As opposed to unproud friends of yours.
Right, so I,
got a
had
couple of those.
I had my iPod plugged in recently my computer playing at Shuffle, at random.
Your iTunes.
And I'm rocking out to my iTunes and everything's happy and we're all good. And all of a sudden this song comes on and I'm really like excited about it. And I'm like, this is great. And then I go, wait, the fuck, this is a Christmas song. And I look and it is a Donna Summer Christmas album, which you made me download at Christmas.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, the Christmas
And
spirit.
it is awesome. I listened to the whole song and wanted more because I wanted Christmas in July.
Oh.
I was so happy about Donna Summer Christmas. And I've obviously thought of you because I'm like, oh, I downloaded this. Well, in
After
December.
October 1st, it's appropriate.
With Al.
October 1st?
It
Yeah, that's
made,
what
it made me laugh because I was having Christmas in July thanks to Al Perkins.
Oh, and I-
Sometimes you
do-
need that.
Yeah.
You have to have
I let
Christmas in
mine,
July.
with few exceptions. If my iTunes or on the phone, if it picks a Christmas song, if it's Vanessa Williams or Donna Summer, we'll let it play itself
Yeah,
out.
no, I
Just
usually
kinda-
will skip that or like my daughter's lullabies. What the fuck? I'm like, skip when it's on
Why?
shuffle. But Baby beluga in the deep blue sea. Anyone? Raffi?
No, I'm good. No, thanks.
Anyway,
Itsy bitsy spider is it Christina Aguilera, the one she does.
Fuck you, she does not do it.
This show,
I don't know
Jesus.
how many more times you're going to break into song in the next 2.5 hours.
It's gonna be a
Hopefully a
lot.
lot.
You should be a play a drinking game at home. If I break into a song, take a
it's-
shot.
I'm not sure, but the drinking game starts at about 25 minutes here in the beginning of hour 2. It is at 7:30. We are in the middle of the show. It's a Tuesday night in studio with Katie, Steve Cerna, and Al Perkins are here. I'm Clayton McKee, apparently at the helm of this goddamn ship. We have headlines coming up, and we're going to see just exactly how well Steven does with that coming up next, right here on Q Talk America.
pressure.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
I'm straight.
I'm gay.
I'm bisexual.
And I give a damn about equality.
Want to know why?
Because one hate crime is committed approximately every hour of every day in this country.
Imagine walking down the street and wondering if this is the day you'll get beaten up or even killed simply because of who you are.
Because many gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender teens who come out to their parents are thrown out of their homes.
Imagine confiding in the people you trust most, only to be rejected and tossed out with no place to go.
Because during the past 16 years, over 13,000 men and women have been discharged from the military for being gay.
Imagine being willing to sacrifice your life to protect and defend this country, only to be kicked out of the military because of who you love.
These are just a few of the reasons why we care about equality.
It is time for things to change.
We all have to get involved.
We all have to give a damn.
I give a damn.
Do you?
Join us at wegiveadamn.org to learn more.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
All right, here we are, 7:34. It is a Tuesday night. Here's some headlines. They're all real. We just read them and we talk about them right here on a Tuesday night on Q Talk America. A sergeant with a foot fetish is arrested.
Lindsay Lohan in rehab preparing for her reality show on OWN.
Man arrested for stealing a city bus and leading cops on a long chase.
Jenny McCarthy on View replacing Joy Behar.
Elderly grocery store owner refuses a robber.
Leah Remini leaves Church of Scientology.
Houston gets a headstone.
Duchess Catherine gives birth to Prince Buddy.
And a California city tries humor to keep butts out of their parks. These and much more stimulating stories coming up right now.
Well played, and you got two topics off my list, so that gives me more time to talk later.
Yeah.
That gives me more time to talk about me.
Of course, shocker. It's usually the Al show, Stephen, just so you know that.
I've heard.
Oh, well, let's go. Well, last week our drinking word, which this is not it. Remember last week's drinking word, Katie? When it all goes, when it all went Florida.
It all went Florida. Very funny, by the way.
Florida.
A veteran Palm Beach Sheriff Sergeant is facing sexual charges after allegedly using his department-issued video camera to record a local teenage girl. The Palm Beach Post reports that Sergeant Mario Prader was arrested Thursday on allegations of lewd conduct and video voyeurism. According to Prader's arrest report, a teenage girl alleged that the 50-year-old police sergeant massaged her feet while touching himself inappropriately. The girl who also alleged that he hid a department-issued video camera in her bedroom and recorded her while she undressed. Police say Prader later admitted to fondling the girl's feet and videotaping her. Authorities say the sergeant said his behavior was resulting from a fetish. On Friday, Prader's attorney said, quote, "People get arrested all the time and they're presumed innocent. In Mr. Prader's case, this is no difference." But he admitted to it.
Wait, is this To Catch a Predator that we were
No.
watching?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Kinda.
if you massage someone's feet and you touch yourself at the same time, that's all right.
Yes.
It's not hot.
Well, it depends on where you are.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess he was in his police car.
In Florida.
In Florida or in the police car, exactly.
That's gross.
7.
Just saying.
Does anybody have a foot fetish?
Not
I don't
No,
understand.
Not even a
no.
little
And I
bit.
was talking with this kid that's in my cast who will remain nameless. Oh my God, I hope he's not listening. He
Luke
likes
Skywalker?
his
No, what's his
toes
name?
being sucked on. And I was like, that's disgusting. And he was like, well, you shower after. I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to.
No, I
shower
would shower
before.
before.
Yeah, let's get that shower where it goes.
Things under your toenails that we don't know about.
After a pedicure, maybe, but that's
There's
about
just
it.
Not even like
hot
I have
about
never.
If you are properly
I feel like-
shod, I would guess that your feet would be a lot cleaner than your hands. Now, if you're barefoot, that's filthy.
I feel like if it was maybe when I was in my like high school experimental sex stage and we were all trying kind of everything.
Yeah, when you were horny as hell,
Yeah, and
you
you're kind of
didn't stick it in anywhere or nothing was sucked.
Well, you're kind of trying everything.
Okay, I never went through that phase, but I did go through that
No,
phase.
I started
I got
sticking.
nothing to idea what's going on with the no sucking, putting things
I started
places.
sticking it in right away.
Yeah, but I
but
was like, hey, that felt good. Let's try your toe.
I didn't start masturbating until 18.
Were you a Mormon?
I didn't know, man.
I
was
missed that.
I was
You-
an only
you did-
child.
you
I didn't
did
start masturbating until 18.
Only
No, 17,
child?
17 and a half.
Like what happened when you were a little baby?
Do I hear
boner?
16? Do I hear 16?
Did you finally
Wait, when you
I
had
had
like
a
baby
lot of
boners,
wet
were you just like,
dreams. I had a lot
I'm
of
just
wet
gonna pretend
dreams.
that's not happening?
I wouldn't
thought
say
it was peeing my
baby
pants
boner. I think
all the
that's
time.
bad.
Did you just fall down the
I mean,
stairs on your
you're right.
stomach, and that's
Junior
how
high
you realized,
boner.
oh, maybe I should touch that?
Yeah, that was it. And then like during
That's
senior
very
year, I
young,
went
I
home.
think,
I
or
went
very
home
old.
like at every break that I had to masturbate. Like it was the greatest thing I'd ever
Like the rest of us have been doing for all of
Yeah, no,
I
it is.
know. I
It
was
is
like,
real
what
fantastic.
He heard the song "Touch Me in the Morning" and realized, oh, that's what it means.
Touch me in the morning.
afternoon and evening.
Yes. And
that
I
same
remember
evening.
Whenever.
Well, do you remember? And being an only child too. Whoops, there goes my pen.
No, none of us are only children.
My mother, I would leave the door open because we lived in Tucson and we only had
Like,
swamp
hold on,
cooler.
wait a minute, go
And
ahead.
then it was like there was a day when my door shut when I went to sleep, and she could not understand that. She's like, "Leave the door open. We gotta get the air circulating in here." My mom doesn't talk like that, but I think it's
I was gonna say,
funnier.
was your mom a Jewish woman?
I love
Like an
imitating
old
my mom
Jew.
as a Jewish woman. It's more fun. And she's like, "Leave the door open." I'm like, "I gotta shut it. I have to." And she's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Cause I got
Why?
I got stuff to do, you know."
The worst
I
part
got
is
a
that
can
you're
of
like
off.
fucking 18 when it's happening.
I know. It was
"Oh."
finally I started shutting the door.
Oh my
17.
god!
It was more 17.
Was
I think. It
masturbating at
senior
a
year.
way younger. Way.
I mean,
Sorry.
I don't know when it came on, but the first time I saw Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro on HBO, so I think maybe I was.
Why were you into Robert De
11
Niro?
or 10? No, there's just a line in that movie that just everything.
Wasn't Tony Danza on that too?
No.
Tony
Taxi.
Danza.
Yes, Taxi.
That's
Taxi.
the TV show. Taxi Driver, the movie is very violent. Not the
I used
same
to
at
think
all.
Tony Danza was
Which
so
is,
hot,
oh my
and he's
god,
the boss.
Tyler, you'll understand this, which is why Al was masturbating to it. Because you're very violent.
No, but it's a dirty line. They go around the table talking about what they just did sexually, and by the end of it, I'm like, "Excuse me, something is happening in my pants."
Excusez-moi.
I started masturbating
Mama
to
y papa.
Baywatch. We didn't have anything back then, so it was Baywatch.
The Hoff?
Really?
Yeah.
With the Hoff?
No, it wasn't the Hoff. It was that one that married to Brooke Burke now, that guy.
Oh, David Chevrolet.
Yeah.
You
I would
loved
masturbate to him a lot.
So when you, okay, yeah, because I guess at 18 you know you're gay, so you're
Yeah.
not like accidentally masturbating to girls.
No. Ooh,
Oh,
who
no.
masturbated to girls?
The entire
Well, I'm saying, like-
the entire
Yeah.
cast
Even
of
when
Charlie's
you're-
Angels.
Even when you're in the closet, you're still masturbating to boys. You just don't know why.
Oh,
Okay.
I had some pretty good girl fantasies.
Oh,
I was masturbating
wow.
about having sex as one of Charlie's Angels with another man. But Farrah Fawcett was with us.
He was walking around like this all the time.
Yeah,
You wanted to actually be a Charlie's Angel.
Of course he
of course
did.
I did. Are you kidding me? I was Sabrina, the smart one.
He wanted somebody named
Sabrina
Charlie to
was
get.
the worst one.
She was the
my
smart one,
God. No,
underappreciated.
it was like, this is how it went. They were like, okay, we're going to go to a carnival. And Farrah Fawcett got to be like the dagger girl. And then Jacqueline Smith got to be the friggin' motorcycle girl. And then Sabrina was like,
The smart
you're
one.
the clown.
The bale of hay.
Yeah, she's
You're
the
going to
Bale
be
of
the
Hay.
clown. The other ones were like the hot circus
Hey.
people.
I don't know if any of you remember this. This is the headline segment. I don't know. We've got way off.
Sorry.
Way off of our.
Well, a headline is he waited 17 and a half years to
That actually is a.
know.
That actually.
was the headline.
And
Words are
in
not.
other
What?
news.
Yeah.
I think
Weird shit in Florida or that? I'll go with that.
Is it my headline?
I
Or
think
do you go
no,
yours?
It's
yeah,
your
no,
turn.
no. I read one, you read one, but I think
right.
we're going to talk more about you later in thoughtful vulgarity. It's just going to be my
Okay.
guess. Go ahead. What's your?
I was talking about what was I? Okay. I don't have the whole article
That's
though.
okay, we
I
can fill it in.
misunderstood the assignment. I'm sorry.
God damn.
I'm never getting invited back. I hope you all are listening now.
We do also have guest bartenders, so you might fill in for that.
Right. So, like the Andy Cohen show, I'll just be back there like
Yeah, that's about it.
Hey.
Looking cute.
Right.
We're 30 minutes from making shit in that thing.
Lindsay Lohan in rehab preparing for her reality show on OWN.
What?
So
See, and these are good-
Oprah has
Is an enabler.
and she is an enabler, big time
Really?
enabler.
$2
She's
million?
in rehab right now. She's getting her prepared, yeah. And she's got her own house like prepared for Lindsay when she comes out. It's a fake house. And
With
she's
cameras
got
all around.
Cameras all around. She's got 2 assistants, 2 like maids,
Fucking
2
Lindsay.
butlers. Like she's bringing
I'll
her
go
into
get
this house to
wasted
show this
in
reality show. There's nothing reality about her coming into this house that Oprah has prepared for her.
Right.
Like we want to see Lindsay coming out of rehab, like
And, like,
here you
getting-
go, here's your keys, and like get in the car and go to your crack
Go
dealer's
do
house.
something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like
Or
we
just let
want
her go to the
the
Revolver
cameras
and
to
we
follow
help.
you doing
Well,
that.
does it also seem a little bit sad that like Oprah, right? And I have always had a lot of respect for Oprah. I don't know what you guys feel about her, but I've always really liked her. Is at that level where she's like, let's rope Lindsay Lohan, the super sad young drug addict,
Yeah.
let's rope her into a sitcom. Let's put her in a house with a bunch of cameras
Right.
and make money off of it. You'd like, it just makes me go,
Yeah,
really,
that's
What are you
Oprah?
doing
Because
for
Oprah's
her?
the one that
Yeah.
changed the whole dynamic of daytime TV, where she wasn't gonna do
She
the
wasn't that
baby daddy
Maury
shows,
Povich.
the Maury
Right,
Povich.
right.
She was gonna elevate the tone, and we were gonna talk about being better people and but she's always full of shit. I can't stand her. But so now this is
Now
exactly.
you know where Al stands. stands.
Yeah,
Oprah,
no,
Oprah, we didn't mean it.
no.
Oprah, we didn't mean it.
No,
If you're listening.
I did, Oprah. You remember me. We've chatted. I've told her to her face. I screamed it into her building. But just the fact that she's now taking the low. I mean, I think we can honestly say Lindsay Lohan is the lowest common denominator, besides like Justin Bieber. But we're pretty close either way.
Amanda Bynes is on her way too,
Okay,
though.
but she'll be the follow-up hour because
Yeah.
one will be a hit, and that's what's going to follow Duck Dynasty. Is
Right.
is
Oh my
that
God.
crap?
Right.
But I just heard this. I'm like, you're giving this girl $2 million for rehab, so she's going to rehab for all the wrong reasons. Then you're giving her a reality show. We just had like a celebrity death last week. Like, get your shit together. Do not enable these people and make it.
But do you
worse.
think what she's really trying to do?
No, she just needs a buck for OWN
just
because they're going
hang
under.
on.
fast.
Is like, yeah.
Hang on. Don't jump. Jesus, you're back 44 minutes and you're killing me. No, what I'm wondering is, I agree with what you're saying that she's doing. I agree with that completely because OWN is like,
Yeah.
who?
Tanking.
Right.
The bathtub's almost
So,
empty.
right. So what I'm wondering is if she's trying to do this so that does she really think that she and Phil and Dr. Drew or Dre or whatever, can they all come together? Can they pull her through this and get her on the other side, and then they can all champion the fact that we did it.
Right, but do it privately, no cameras.
Right, I agree with that would be better.
Yeah, if
That's
you
the
actually
problem.
care about her, then
Right.
if you actually care about her or this young person, this young actress, then do it. But you're not. You're throwing her in a house with a gajillion cameras and not reality.
People are going to be waiting for her to
fuck
relapse.
up. Nobody wants
they
to watch
want
her
to
have a
see
normal
relapse,
life.
And
The
those
other
producers are like, get her on camera when she relapses.
Yeah,
I want,
they're probably
I want her,
stocking their
I want her
refrigerator with
going
fucking
in that
Skinny Girl.
bathroom, and I want you to have the camera up against the wall when
While she's like snorting. Yes.
Yeah.
The other sad part about this is nobody can find OWN on TV.
Yeah, I don't have it. Does anyone else have
Nobody
it?
can
I can't
find
find it.
I feel like there was
Channel
maybe
1137?
one show I watched on OWN.
I have no idea what the number
Well,
is.
the Oprah behind the scenes was really good.
Regardless, I can't.
I watched it
I
myself.
watched Oprah with Lance
She's
Armstrong.
crazy.
When she did Lance Armstrong.
I watched parts of that, yeah.
That was on OWN, I think.
All her employees are fat. I'm just gonna say, and because they work 24 hours a day, and she feeds them like they're
macaroni,
not cavemen.
I just love the Oprah Winfrey show. Stay near my parents' house, and they show that shack in the woods when they used to do the Oprah Winfrey show on Mad TV.
On Mad TV, which is my favorite thing ever.
It was like
And
this-
you get a car. Wait, no, but what do they say on there? And
car.
you get a this, and you get a that. I've watched it before.
I
But,
just
Did you
love
see
it.
where she releases the bees on that?
Releases the
It's
bees?
on that YouTube.
but I love
video
when their
or
heads
whatever.
explode.
And
when
they're
they're like,
the YouTube video, like it's really her getting excited about
Yeah,
something,
and she
but somebody
releases the bees.
somebody did an animation of bees
Oh my
releasing
God.
this video.
I literally have to
they're,
Google it
They're
right
screaming
now.
about like what they're winning, but in the video it looks like they're all being
like,
stung by
they're
bees.
getting
You're like,
stung. And Oprah's like,
it's really
it's amazing.
Sounds like a
Oprah
South Park
and
episode.
the bees.
And the
Yeah.
bees.
Yeah,
Sounds
no,
like
it's
a
a
South
thing.
Park
Oh
episode.
my God, I'm totally watching it.
Well, a man in, we're going to jump all the way across the country to
Yep.
California. A man has been arrested for allegedly, I love how they put allegedly and everything, allegedly stealing an Alameda County transit bus in San Francisco and driving it some 100 miles to Northern California to the town of Oakdale. The bus was taken from the temporary Trans Bay Terminal in San Francisco about 9 a.m. on Friday. The bus was parked, closed, and locked at the terminal. According to a transit spokesman, quote, we do have some systematic procedures that need to be followed in order to board a bus and certainly to start a bus and to drive off with it. We are assuming that whoever did this had some prior knowledge. No shit. Jesus. CBS Sacramento reported a shirtless man who was taken into custody Friday morning in Oakdale on charges of, well, reckless driving, failure to yield, and grand theft. However, there were no charges because of being shirtless. I think there probably should have been. No one was on the bus. No
we
one
get a
was.
picture?
No one was injured. No, there was no picture of him. California Highway Patrol officers spotted the bus and chased it into the Oakdale area. Johnson said the bus was a spare bus and then it had a GPS on it, and that is exactly how the California Highway Patrol tracked it. CHP officers also put road spikes down, causing the bus to stop because of flat tires.
Ooh, that would hurt because you know how the cars fly out of control, but a bus on those things.
I saw it on Speed. Sandra Bullock did it.
No, they never threw down the.
But my favorite part when I read the story was
because the bus couldn't slow down. They never threw down the you know the they put up the wire thing across the road.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, and
Oh,
the
I thought
car
they
and
said
the
that it
tires
went over.
explode and the oh god, that's
But I thought it was funny when the guy said, the spokesman is like talking about how that there are systematic things that involve with you have to unlock the bus, open the bus to start the bus, and they think maybe somebody already knew how. No kidding.
Right. You have to
Just
open your car
maybe.
door, sit in the car, turn the key. You know what I mean? Oh, geez.
All these things.
I do love the stated obvious.
I feel like I've done that before, though.
Stolen a bus.
Yeah.
Or gotten in a car.
I felt like, yeah, and then you just put it in the bus parking lot, and then bye, I got home.
Bye, I got home.
I live here.
I gotta go work at Oz at 6 in the morning.
See ya.
There's a picture.
You leave in the Oz parking lot and you hope
on
no
the
one
story,
notices.
there's a picture of the bus where it shows with the front flat tires. The bus is almost like sitting on the ground, and there's the out of service sign.
Yeah.
Thought it was good. Go ahead, Steve.
No. Leah Remini is leaving the Church of Scientology.
Oh, honey, she
I
left.
heard that. I heard
She
that.
left.
And she is leaving, and her friend Kirstie Alley is not okay.
Wait,
She
is Kirstie
pissed.
Alley a Scientologist?
She is a
She's one of the
Scientologist. But so I couldn't find it today, but I remember the other day they said something about one of the church's, like the leader of the church's members' wives disappearing. Did you guys say anything about that?
The guy that leads the church, that's Tom Cruise's best friend.
David. What is it, David?
I can't think of
his
his
name. Google it.
But his
please.
his wife has been missing for like 7 years.
Oh.
And now is it Lisa Remy? Is that how you say her
Leah
name?
Remini. She's on The King
She's
of Queens.
amazingly hysterical.
And she's besties with J-Lo, but apparently
David
they're not besties anymore.
Miscavige.
Yeah, his wife has been missing. And so the thing that I was reading about, someone else that left the church recently wrote that he and Tom Cruise are really close. And although this guy sees Tom Cruise for what he really is and how he really is and would throw him under the bus in a minute if something came out about the wife, that I guess Tom Cruise is just deaf, dumb, and blind about this guy and will not listen to a bad, because Tom Cruise is just sold.
He's just nuts.
He's the highest honor. Like, he probably has his own star or planet or
Whatever.
whatever.
They
I
have
don't even know what they believe in.
planets.
But Kirstie Alley
I thought that
sent
was
out all
Mormon.
these tweets, and they were
They
kind
both.
of mildly worded cryptic threats and slams. And then she was like, "Oh no, I'm talking about another friend." But it was all about, and I give up on her name.
You keep
But-
pointing my notes. I don't have anything else in my
no,
notes.
but I know you have her name.
Like,
Right? But anyway,
Leah Remini.
it was interesting that they were like cut off and done. But that's how Kirstie Alley says that's how she got off cocaine. You know,
Oh, the Church of
and now
Scientology.
the Church of Scientology and L. Ron Hubbard, which
Yeah.
The Master. If you never
Do
saw
you
The
wanna-
Master, that's what
That's
this.
him, right.
That's what the
Do
movie
you wanna
was
actually know
about, but they can't say it's about that.
What I happen to be watching today on the Ricky Lake show, since I'm a stay-at-home mom and I watch daytime television.
She won the daytime Emmy a couple weeks ago.
Go Ricky Lake. I actually really like her show.
I think she got canceled, but she won.
Oh,
the
she's already canceled?
She won the daytime
What
Emmy.
the WTF?
I don't know.
Already?
I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that one. I didn't Google it.
She's like, what do
she
I
did
do
win.
now? What do I watch now during the day?
But what I
Judge
was
Judy.
watching was they had on cult leaders and stuff, and they had women today. It was really freaky deaky. It was
Hey,
women.
Matt, we can't answer right now.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. It was women that had been in the Jonestown cult. The David Jones. What was it?
No,
Jones.
David Jones, famous pirate and member of the Monkees.
No,
but
not Davy.
there.
Not Davy Jones.
The Guyana tragedy is Jim Jones.
Jim Jones.
right.
I'm sorry. I was
That's
thinking
where the
David.
whole- that's where the whole
David
drink the
Miscavige.
Kool-Aid-
That's where drink the Kool-Aid comes from.
Yes,
from.
but it was interesting because whatever you just said made me think of it.
Oh,
Cult leaders, L. Ron Hubbard, the Master.
Yeah, something about, maybe it was just about being a cult, but these women were like talking just about, it was one of the women that
Oh, how they
escaped.
follow them blindly and they just go deaf, dumb, and blind. Yeah.
Yes, and it was these women that one of the women had escaped the day that the senator had come to visit them and like say, you guys are bad. And
got-
she was one of the 11 with her son, small
That they got
child
out.
son that escaped.
Right.
And another woman that was never wanted to escape, but happened to be in Georgetown, South Africa doing work that day and missed the drinking of the Kool-Aid. And it was a really interesting interview. It was very, 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 very sad. But
And-
it was about how they just blindly followed this group.
And they're all from San Francisco. And if you read book 2 of Tales of the City, it's all about the Jonestown.
It ties it all back.
Because it was all
circle.
current. It was all current, like fictional characters involved with
It
current
all
events.
ties it into Scientology?
No, but into Jim
One,
Jones.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. It was a really anyway. So it makes me think of the Church of Scientology. You know, it was like really, 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 really sad watching this.
And
woman
there's
today.
it's the woman that just wrote the tell-all. She was she's the daughter of one of the leaders of Scientology, and she just escaped the church and
Wait
wrote
a
her
minute.
book.
I need to Google this.
She's been all
immediately.
over Anderson Cooper. She's been giving interviews all over and spilling the beans.
Daughter of Scientology.
The funny thing is, I've been avoiding so much media because I'm so tired.
Oh no, this was a couple of months
I
ago.
can't.
okay.
No, I couldn't.
But I
do
like how
Zimmerman.
you're just noticing that the media gets on one story and stays there for like the entire
it
week.
just seems like it's been really crazy of late.
Yeah.
Like
Because they've chosen, because they lowered the bar.
I've almost
Nancy Grace got headlines, and they've gone from
Oh my
what
God.
was kind of news to what's like sub news, like gavel to gavel coverage.
No, right, and
they
it-
become
on
a
everything, and
parody
it's just
of themselves.
crazy.
Wait, Al, is it this Beyond
I
Belief?
almost watched
My
Fox.
Secret
Yeah.
Life Inside Scientology and My Harrowing Escape.
Yeah, that's right.
Fuck, I need to read this.
Yeah, it's very good.
I was channel surfing. I almost stopped on Fox the other day, but I decided no. I went to Discovery Channel instead. Well, does anybody here know who Whitney Houston is? Remember her?
I think I've heard of her.
Oh, I can do what somebody did at a party to me once. Oh, she's that black girl that had a reality show.
Wait, were they being serious?
Amazing reality show, by the way.
They were there on a date with Mark Martinez.
Oh, of course. So they were being serious.
I think I may know exactly the same person you're talking about. Whitney Houston's grave in New Jersey has been marked with a teardrop-shaped headstone with an inscription well known to her fans, the quote, "I will always love you." The 48-year-old pop music queen died February 11th of 12 in Beverly Hills, California. An autopsy found that she had drowned accidentally with heart disease and cocaine use contributing to her death. She was buried next to her father in Westfield, New Jersey, about 20 miles west of New York. Her headstone includes a heart-shaped engraving upon which her image and the words "The Voice" are etched in capital letters. I brought a handout, Al. Thought maybe you want to pass it around. Just below the inscription, "I will always love you," is from the Dolly Parton song Houston Made Famous. Not only did Dolly make famous,
Dolly made it pretty fucking famous,
no
too.
shit. Houston's recording of the song was also played at her funeral.
Oh, okay.
No, she didn't.
Stop right. It's in Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Oh my God, but
It has a
nobody
Grammy.
knew it. I love the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, but nobody knew who it was until
Yes.
Whitney
Yes, they
Houston.
did.
Yes, we
made
did.
it.
She did it as like a #1 TV
Wow.
show. As the
I
goodbye to
didn't.
Lyle.
Yeah, but we were in a different age category.
Well,
then.
it also was
Right.
her.
It wasn't just off the bus. We all knew it.
And do you know but now, Serna, do you know the real story? Clearly, you probably don't. The real story behind the song, the "I Will Always Love You." Do you know who it's even to?
No.
Dolly
You're
Parton.
gonna explain it to me.
Kevin Costner.
Dolly, no. Dolly Parton.
It
Lyle
was to her
Porter?
sister who hired that person
Dolly
to kill her.
Parton used to be. She was an additional singer and a second rate or second act on the Porter Wagner show
Porter
years
Wagner.
ago,
Okay.
and she decided to spin off and have her own career. So she wrote the song because was really a mentor to her, and he gave her her first break. So on her last appearance on the Porter Wagner show, which was broadcast, I want to say NBC, and this was in the late '60s. She wrote the song and she sang it. It was to him. "I will always love you. Thank you for everything you've done. If I should stay, I'll be in your way."
Because he was bitter about her leaving. So
Bitter,
she wanted to
yeah,
apologize.
'cause- yeah.
So the song had like 3 lives before Whitney got to it. So
Absolutely.
trust me, we all knew it.
But it did not make the money until
no,
Whitney
no.
Houston sang it, and
No,
that's
and
I
that's-
bet Dolly
she had-
is living pretty on that money.
Right,
that
and
she
Dolly
makes
will
off of
say
it.
and
that.
she'll tell you that too.
Yeah, Dolly even tells the story that the first day she heard it, she was driving along in her own car and she heard, "Would you quit looking at yourself on the TV?"
I love it. Shh, don't tell me. I didn't want anyone to know on the camera.
Oh, it's all you. I've been watching because I've been watching. I'm like, you gotta stop staring at yourself soon.
I'm just, oh my god!
'Cause you're
don't
not-
tell people. I want to.
But it doesn't make for good TV.
No, they don't know that the
Yeah, they can't
Yeah,
because
they
you're not
can. It's right
because you're
there.
not looking the right way. You gotta look at the You gotta look at the camera.
I would be. I'm glad I'm actually
So-
not in any of y'all's seat because I would do the same thing.
because I'm staring at it, and my friends that are listening right now know that I'm staring at myself
we all do.
right now. It's so bad, and it's not a narcissistic thing.
oh,
I'm
bullshit.
A little bit. It might be. Like a little bit.
So to wrap up that story,
So I'd be his second stalker after him.
so to wrap up that story, Dolly Parton driving in her car hears Whitney Houston's version and says, "Oh, that's a really nice song," and then all of a sudden realizes that's her song. And Dolly even says, "I nearly wrecked my car trying to stop because I was so excited that the song had been picked up by somebody else." And clearly, she made a mint off of that goddamn
Oh, yeah.
song.
She did.
Clearly.
And she
Have you
did.
ever
It-
been to a Dolly Parton concert?
No.
Yes.
I haven't.
Oh my
I'd like
God,
to
I
go.
went,
Amazing.
Yeah, I went a couple years ago. I was in LA, and I was like, it was that thing where I was with my gay friend, and we were like, okay, as soon as the first song is over and it gets quiet, we're gonna be like, "We love you, Dolly," because I've never been that person before where people shout things out.
I get nervous to do that.
I know everyone does, and so I was like, "Do it right away." And so it got quiet, and she got done. She opened the song, and it looks like, seriously, when her concert starts, it looks like Chuck E. Cheese when those animals come up from like the bottom of the floor, and they're like,
Which is a really good show.
which is an amazing show.
Yeah,
but
amazing.
it looks like she's fake. She's got the sequins dress on, and she plays every instrument in the world. And so she comes up, she sings, "Those were the days, my friend, we thought they never
There you go, because your friends were
end."
getting sober.
And then, thank God, yeah. And then she stops and we're like, "We love you, Dolly." And she's like, "I thought I left you in the truck." And we were like, "Oh my God,
She talked to you.
Oh my God, we're dying. Oh,
That's
it was so
fun.
Actually,
cute.
Stephen, I think you were at Chuck E. Cheese.
Drag queen.
Piper,
Oddly.
probably. We don't have Chuck E. Cheese.
Now, do you remember before
Pistol Pete's. That was what it used to be.
Well, no,
Yes,
totally.
Pistol
Pistol
do you
Pete's.
all also remember Showbiz Pizza Place?
No, that's what I mean.
No,
That's actually what I mean.
Showbiz?
That's actually what I
No,
mean.
we had Chuck E. Cheese in Tucson.
Showbiz Pizza
Showbiz
Place had
Pizza
the
Place.
gorilla was Fats. He was the leader of the
Hell
Rock of
yes.
Fire Explosion. Was the
And
name
there
of
was
it.
like a giant weird cat, like an alley cat maybe, and some other things.
Well, Uncle Clunker was a cat who was on a stage by himself. But I used to work at a Showbiz Pizza Place and did the show.
Whatever those animals are, I loved them.
Animatronic. It was the Rock of Fire
It was
Explosion.
crazy. It was
You had
amazing.
Billy Bob and Looney Bird who were on the one stage. Billy Bob was like the main character of the whole
Yes,
the thing.
it was
Then
the
you had
best day of my life.
Mitzi, Beach Bear.
Yes.
Fats. Duke was the
Yes.
drummer. And then the one stage that had Uncle Clunker would also, they changed the robot out and it would be a
Uncle
Santa
Clunker.
in winter.
Okay, so we were there one year. We used to love it, and we went once. And my Wallace and Ladmo used to do birthdays, and so Wallace and Ladmo were there, and I don't even know if they were actually
Are they dead
there.
now, so they can't do birthdays?
No. Two of them are alive.
Two of them still alive. So I don't know if Wallace and Ladmo were actually there at the birthday party. But all I remember is that my brother and I were there with our parents, and we were like obsessing over the show, and it was the best day ever. And there was a little kid's birthday party at the table next to us, and they were having a Wallace and Ladmo birthday. And Wallace and Ladmo must have actually been there because they had, I don't remember, but they had Wallace and Ladmo bags. They had Ladmo bags. And I cried. I was like, but why can't I have a Ladmo bag? And the employees and the little kid's birthday was like, fuck you. You're not part of our birthday. You don't get a Ladmo bag. I was in tears. Life was over. I didn't play any games. I wanted to like put my face down. Like I was like, death up becomes me. And so one of the employees pulled my brother and I in back afterwards in like the back offices. And they were like, come here. And we came and they're like, we have these special things for you. And they gave my brother and I each a Ladmo bag. And I cried. Then I cried again because I was so happy.
You're killing me.
And then I took it home and I put that Ladmo bag on a shelf for like 7 years. And so the candy, by the time it was able to eat it, was so fucking hard and old school. And the bracelets, who cared about them? They were like friendship bracelets
I think it's
and like
still
playing
good.
cards.
It is the end of hour one. Hour two's coming. Also, the drinking game is on its way. It is the show. I'm in studio with Katie, Steven, and Al this week. And I'm not sure what the rest of the 2 hours is gonna come up to be, but we'll figure it out in a minute. The drinking word is coming up in just shortly. We've got more headlines. Al will take over the entire show in a minute and talk about entertainment and everything else Al wants to talk about moments from now.
It could happen.
We get 2 more hours. Stick around. We'll be back in just a few minutes right here on Q Talk America.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening. It is a little after 8 o'clock. It is hour 2 right here on Q Talk America. Hi, it's the show on Q Talk America. We come to you every Tuesday evening from our palatial studio right here in the heart of Central Phoenix. I'm here with Katie June. Steven Cerna is with us this week. And Al Perkins is returning from his brief hiatus to the East Coast where he met everybody.
Almost everybody I've ever known.
I'm surprised. I figured at one point you would have been on The View.
That is still even though everybody's gone, it's still my goal to go to a taping. Yeah, it's really early in the fucking morning.
I figure you're gonna be on The View. That's what I figured. That's somehow I just envisioned.
That would be a real. Now they have Guy Day Friday and it's taped on Thursday. I could do it.
Oh, you totally could do it.
That's a second
Wait,
show. So you don't have to be in the
Guy
early
Day
live.
Friday?
Because they don't do their Friday shows live. They tape them Thursday. They tape 2 shows on Thursday. So you don't have to get in the early line to see it. And when they release the first crowd, not many people show up for the Friday show. They usually have to like campaign to get you in. And then they let one guy be a co-host.
I want to do that.
I know.
Really? Any guy?
Not any guy. It's
Oh
usually
my
it's a
God.
famous guy.
Oh, okay.
I
thought
thought
were
you
like,
should go.
Yeah, I was like,
Any guy from the
I'm
audience.
there.
I will be
You should
submitting
come
a
and do
video.
this.
Yeah, until when I'm on there, then I'll be the first non-famous person on Guy
We
V's
should
writing.
campaign for that. Oh, the other thing we're going to campaign for, Al. I don't know if you heard this on what you were listening to last week's show. We're going to try to get the Westboro Church to picket us from Studio A.
Oh, I love it.
That'd be amazing.
Wasn't that a great idea?
I love it.
That would be fantastic if we get those motherfuckers to show up here and just protest against us. I think it'd be fun. Be a good time.
I
good
do
times
too.
are all- I think it's a good thing we should do. Al thinks we should do the drinking disclaimer early so we can get the drinking game started in honor of Mr. Cerna being here with us.
It's me because I'm here.
Well, no, but just
Yeah, 'cause we like to cocktail.
Because Danny and Heather are out there really.
They are.
jonesing.
They're already drinking.
And because
They're a bunch of drunks.
right, but you cut down on singing in the first hour a little bit, so they got sober just a
Yeah, they
smidgen.
were sad.
So they're at the
can't-
piano
can't
probably
do
right
that.
now.
They what?
They have a piano.
Oh, somebody said something about Heather has karaoke at her house.
Well,
She
that's
does.
where we're going to
She
go
does.
sing.
She does. We
Oh,
could go
oh,
over there.
that's what you're thinking? Oh, well, we'll see how that's going to work out.
Heather, do you want us to come over there?
We'll talk. I don't think we should talk about it now. All right, let's do the drinking disclaimer and we'll continue on with some headlines right now.
And now, a drink along.
Oh.
We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. Well, I think we're going to
That
go
was
with...
amazing.
Thank you. I worked on it a long time.
Your voice is so seductive.
See all the things that would come with me stalking you?
I love it.
Restraining orders.
But I'd be second in line, so I don't like to compete. So it's God bless him, or God bless her, or God bless them.
Good.
Bless her heart. However
God bless
however
you.
you can
Wait,
bless
was that the
somebody.
drinking game?
That's
the
gonna be
drinking
our
word.
drinking
phrase.
You have to explain this to me. I don't know.
You
what's
fit
going
that
on.
phrase in, and then we all have to drink.
God bless him. God bless her.
Like if you're talking
God
about
bless
somebody's
you.
a little special, bless her heart.
Oh, bless
There
her
you
heart.
go. That's
Yeah.
what we're gonna. Okay,
I
so
love it.
so
With a southern accent.
Bless her.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that helps. It's like a Blanche Devereaux.
Yeah.
Something
Bless
like
her
that.
heart.
Well, you can change it to bless her heart.
Yeah. Oh, she's special. She reinforced that still with love
I think
nuts.
if two of us say it at the same time, you should have to take.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm gonna have to make a new drink in a minute. And then in a minute we're gonna also make Ruthie's special.
And by
what's
we,
it?
I feel like we should mean this one because he's the most recent bartender.
No, I hate
no.
this. This is my biggest
No.
pet peeve. I'm off duty.
No,
I
you
do
are on
not-
duty right now, my
I'll
friend.
make
do
'em.
not
I'll make 'em.
make
We're not trusting him with the
drinks.
Ruthie recipe.
Yeah,
Well, do you
I
want
got
to
frozen
start
drinks.
that now?
This is
Because
not John
entertainment's
Matthews.
coming after.
Oh,
Oh,
she
yeah,
just
yeah.
gave
You
me the
guys,
look
you
of
guys finish.
We are gonna finish headlines and
But
then.
finish with
All right.
the.
Okay.
Well, no, his last two I want a part of, but I'll
Okay, well I'll just do.
Oh, she
I'll
doesn't
just
want
roll
part
through
of
a
it.
couple of them right
Roll
quick
through
here.
it.
A masked robber apparently thought the 96-year-old owner of a neighborhood grocery store in Marshfield, I think that's Marshfield, Minnesota, Michigan,
Marshfield,
somewhere,
Arizona.
Stand by, I'm not sure. I know it's back east. Thought that she would be an easy target for his crime, but he was terribly wrong.
Payson.
Margarita Wolf has owned the store bearing her
Suck it,
family
Tom.
name for 54 years, and she wasn't about to turn over her cash to the armed intruder after he ordered her to open the register. Quote, I said, I am not opening that cash register, and that is it. I am not opening it. I said, you can have all the Tootsie Rolls you want, but I will not open the cash drawer. The man in a silver mask and carrying a knife continued to give Wolf orders during the robbery attempt on Monday. He said that I should walk to the back of the store, and I said, I am not walking no place. I'm standing right here. Apparently, I think she's a black woman in this story. Wolf recounted, the elderly store owner stood her ground when the man flashed a pocket knife and placed it on the counter. She said to him, I will press this one button and have somebody here in seconds. He turned around, spotted a security camera, grabbed his knife, and fled the scene.
Wait, now how old was that woman?
96.
That's what I'm picturing her as, like a 96-year-old white Southern lady.
No, this is northern. This is somewhere up in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
I've forgotten, but
God bless her for being like, no, son.
no, she's, I'm done. No, we're not taking
I
it.
tell you, I get scared. I tell you, and I'm listening.
All of
to
a sudden
you
you're
guys, like,
Southern.
yeah, all of a sudden I'm Southern. Hello.
Hello.
Clutch my pearls.
Clutch my pearls.
I swear, I was so scared when I started Oz at 6 o'clock in the morning that I was going to get these people trying to rob me all the time, which I don't. But the other day, come last Friday, I had this guy coming in, and he was wasted out of his mind. And I was like, you got to go. And he would not leave. And I had to physically throw him out. And luckily,
No, like pick him up physically.
He was like twice my size. And I had to like toss him out the door. And he went and robbed the place next door. Thank God. And the cops came. Because I called the cops. I locked the door. And then I called the cops. And then it was like one of those loan mortgages place. Or not loan mortgages. I don't know what they are.
Car loans, title loans.
Title loans place next
Payday
door.
loans.
And they said that he came and tried to rob the place next door. And luckily I threw him out. But
They get
it's
him?
scary. Yeah, they got him.
Well,
Was it
bless
because
his
of your
heart.
big bicep muscles that you were able to get him out of the door?
You know, these things only look good in shirts. They don't really
okay.
work. I don't know how I got him out, but your adrenaline kicks in when someone's
like gonna rob you.
Oh,
harm
wait.
you.
Stand
Yeah.
by, stand by. Al's approaching
Oh my
with a
God.
blender.
I just want to say that this
Stand by.
blender is from the 1970s.
Oh yeah, it's a Hamilton Beach.
It is a Hamilton Beach. I saw it when I walked in. And
It's one of our. It's basically our fifth co-host.
Kind of is,
It
yeah.
is. Yeah. I'm scared it's gonna catch the place on fire.
No, it's
but-
not. It was brand new in the box. I just bought it. I found it in a thrift store.
I know it's bad, huh? Did you try one of those? Did you try one of the other ones?
Very busy. Where's my mug?
Which one are you having?
The original, but it's really not good.
She's trying the original skinny
We
margarita.
got mugs. We got cups. We'll figure it all out.
Next story. Keep talking.
Okay, so I'm gonna
it me?
No, I'm gonna read this because the two more of the stories you've got, Al wants to be part of.
Oh, okay.
So I'll go through this right quick,
THX
and then by
Al.
that time, Al can come back to you. See, I told you this is kind of a free and loose thing we run here.
I love it.
Well, it's not the kind of sign that you usually see at a park. The sign that reads, "Our deer don't smoke in your backyard. Please don't smoke in theirs." But the Los Angeles foothills suburb of Glendale hopes such jokes will do a serious job to keep smokers from trashing local parks and trails. The Los Angeles Times says 18 humorous signs were put up in April throughout the Vertigo and San Rafael Mountains at the Glendale Sports Complex and other area wilderness parks. Other samples include, "Don't throw cigarette butts on the ground. Our squirrels are getting cancer." And smokers will be fed to the bears. Smoking is banned on city trails and parks, but the city does not have enough workers to patrol every trail. Therefore, they cannot enforce all of those laws. Do you smoke?
I smoke.
You
Yes.
do?
I do smoke, and I know it's terrible.
I'm surprised at
It is
that.
bad. I know. Everyone is so shocked when I say I smoke. Like,
Yeah, because
all of
you're
my
great and
actors,
smoking is
then-
not great.
Yeah, and everyone is like, especially when I'm in musical theater, they're like, "You smoke," and your voice. I'm like, it gives a great raspiness.
But
to
I
it.
think a lot of people who are performers, you hear that you're surprised.
There's a
like,
lot of
they're-
performers that smoke. Everyone smokes in music. Well, not everyone. I
Their
should say.
tool
Sorry,
is their,
musical theater
you know,
people,
their
but
gift is their
a
voice,
lot
and
of
people smoke.
A lot of people smoke.
I'm always surprised at that.
But it is a problem where you throw your butts everywhere. I definitely have that same problem. Where
Also, it
messes
smells.
Oh,
and
no.
it stinks, and
I
I
don't
get
care if you smoke. Put your
Yeah.
fucking cigarette butts where they belong.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
the filthiest, and I
It's-
immediately don't like somebody.
It's grody pagody,
when they
but
start
what?
flicking stuff around the
Grody
beach.
pagody.
It
When
is.
people flick it in the beach or flick
Yeah,
it
I
in
don't
the
do
oh.
stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
God! I've been like with my daughter at the park, and she's like playing, and she'll go, and she picks up a
Cigarette
cigarette butt. And I'm
butt.
like,
Yeah.
fuck you! This is this is like the very.
That's good. Tell your daughter, "Fuck you." Pick that up. Don't do that.
This is the very littlest kids play area. Like we're in the like baby kid play area, and there's cigarette butts.
And
I
it
don't get
really is the least you
when
can
I
do as
see
a conscientious
people
humor is put
smoking
your
around their
up.
children, I want
Right.
to kick them.
Yeah.
And when I went this last week. Side note to my brother, God bless him, and I love you so much, Matt.
Matt.
You know, he's in recovery, and so I went to one of his HA meetings. He invited my sister and I to come listen. He was speaking, and so we went, and I was very happy to hear him talk, and I was proud of him and the whole thing. But except for the fact that everybody at AA or NA or HA or whatever, they smoke like fucking chimneys.
Yes.
And we were
They have to.
outdoors.
They
We
have to
were.
have some
I
vice.
know. I get it. We
yeah.
were outside, and I kept my mouth shut, but I could not breathe. My eyes started to water. My sister and I were both like beating each other on the arm because we were there trying to be supportive, but I'm like, I've got to fucking get out of here. Like I can't breathe.
I had to do it.
Gross.
I had to do it for school. I had to go to, as part of the psychology part, we had to go to meetings and we had to pick a couple different ones, and I had to tell them like.
And it's great and inspiring and happy, and you're glad for
do-
all those people, but fucking quit smoking.
They do have non-smoking ones, which they finally had to tell me because I was having like asthma attack after asthma attack. I'm like, I
Yes.
can't sit in a basement with 100 smokers.
We were even
This ain't happening.
outside.
And so it was one of the nice former recovering addicts that saw me in the back turning green and was like, there's a just look at the non-smoking chapter because they're like, we know you're students. I'm like, thank God, I'm like, 'cause I can't sit through it.
I'm more of an enjoyer. Like when I drink, I like to go out and have a smoke. Like that's my enjoyment phase. I don't need smoke breaks at work. I haven't
just
taken
don't
one
flick
here.
them on the ground.
Like,
that will stop today.
Yeah. I don't. No.
And you did have a cigarette after Fez,
and
afterwards, and you put it in you put your butt out in the right place.
There you go.
Ashtray. But no, I don't do that. I've seen people do it, and it's like
drives me crazy.
It drives me crazy too. But
leave it in your car, trash your car. Don't put it at the side of the road. Every exit along every interstate.
I will admit I have smoked in my car and I throw it out the window.
I used to do that when I was a smoker. I did that,
but I don't smoke in my car anymore.
I will chase your car down now.
I did that. Yeah.
I realize that people that don't smoke smell it so much into your car they freak out.
Yeah,
and I was like, nobody smells it in my car. I do it with the windows open, and you can smell it if you don't
it
smoke
like seeps into
right
every
away.
pore.
As he says,
I
do it with the windows open.
Exactly.
I do it. I love it. I love
in the next production.
Does anyone love my voice?
All of a sudden, you're Harvey Fierstein.
You guys,
Jesus
can I also
Christ.
tell you
in every
a
production.
really inappropriate thing I almost did really quickly? I
what?
went to Starbucks this morning and there was
bless your heart.
There was a really super cute girl at my brother's HA meeting, and not like cute like I want to go out with you, but cute like you are young and adorable and cute, and I loved her. And I pull up to Starbucks and I'm like, what the fuck? So my natural inclination is to be like, oh my God, girl, we know each other. Until I realize that it's called Heroin Anonymous for a reason.
So maybe just give her a little wink and a smile.
I know. And I had my glasses on and then I was like, hey. Anyway, I found an anonymous member at Starbucks and I kept her anonymous. I felt proud. So you get it with your bad self, girl.
And that happens.
Now I'm telling everyone it's my Starbucks on 7th and just kidding.
Yeah.
You fail on so many privacy levels.
Well, bless your heart for being discreet.
Bless your heart. God damn it. All right, Stephen, you got a couple more headlines and Al wants to join in with you.
Now, we had to talk about this because it was all over the air for the last 3 days. Duchess Catherine gives birth to Prince Buddy. I had to say Prince Buddy.
I'm sorry. Is his name actually Buddy?
No.
They need to name him now.
Praise Jesus.
It was in a show that I did, and it was like, we should name the Prince Buddy.
What show exactly was that?
It was called Foreigner. It was at Desert Stages.
It may be announced because it probably is soon to be London time morning. Because they were either going to announce it tonight or they'll announce it in the morning.
I'm going to Google immediately.
So we'll have to Google it.
The reason I brought this up was, why are we spending so much time on this?
And that's why I wanted a part of this, because as you know from the beginning of the show that I am obsessed with the royal family for
we all
years.
are. Everyone is. I stayed up all night watching that wedding. I stayed up,
Oh,
I think it was
my God,
5
me
o'clock in the
too.
morning it came on.
Yes.
And I stayed up all night waiting for her to get out of that car.
Yeah.
And because I wanted to be the first to see it. I didn't want to see it.
So now you know.
Yeah.
So
that's if people care, but
now I'm hoping for an Alfred for the name. I'm hoping we can fit in an Alfred.
Of course you
that
are.
is not one of the top
No.
names. They're betting on the names. That's Alfred is not one of the top.
The top
Elizabeth.
The top one is
it's a boy,
George
so
Philip
hopefully
William
not.
Edward.
Elizabeth.
But I think they need. I think they need to go out. Somebody was saying that they would love to see Spencer as one of the.
Oh, that's cute.
As one of the 4 names.
Cute.
Yeah, to get it started. But they're saying George Philip William Edward is the.
That's a lot of names.
They have to. Well, they all have 4.
Yeah.
They honor as many people as they can. And I think their choices aren't as exciting when it was a boy. I was hoping for a girl because then they could really go fun places. And since they just changed the succession law, but now it won't matter.
Wait, what do they mean? They just changed it?
Because the firstborn is always that it's going to be whoever it's got to be a man, right?
It has to be a man.
Or you could let me finish my story.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. Go
Here
ahead.
we are at the Al Perkins show.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
You'll learn.
You were very close to the right story there.
No, it was. It's supposed to be the man, the firstborn man that gets.
Yeah, the firstborn male child. So even though
they're all been firstborn males,
right? And so they changed it in case this was a girl, so she could be queen if she was born first. The only reason Elizabeth is queen is because she didn't have an older brother.
Oh, that little bitch.
Because if she had had a younger brother, there was no brothers.
Yeah.
It was Margaret, Anne, and Elizabeth. There were 3 sisters. There was no brother. But if any of the children had been a male,
why did she get it if she was the youngest?
No, I did them in the wrong order.
Oh, I'm sorry. She was the oldest.
Elizabeth was the oldest, and because
are you going to tell the story right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I can chime in anytime.
There were no male children, so she became queen. But if they had a 4th child, even if it was the youngest and a male, he would have become king.
Okay,
but they
didn't
changed
because then Charles is a king and William's a king, and now Baby Buddy is a king.
So we will never see him be king probably in our lifetime.
Who?
No.
Oh, the king. The little baby. No.
Because the Windsors are extraordinary. Betty Windsor, as we've learned through the Death Watch,
Right.
We know.
they are extraordinarily healthy.
Very
Yeah.
much
So she's 87.
She's never dying.
She's like 87 to 89, somewhere in there. And they
She's
said
gonna-
she's got a good 5 years left in her.
Yo, yeah. She
And
looks
will,
great.
and she will not abdicate. She is the second longest.
She's gonna ride that pony.
And
as
now
long
this
as-
is the country that does everything they can to prevent female royalty, not royalty, but you know what I mean, like heads of
Leaders.
state. They do everything they can, and now their 3 longest sovereigns
Yeah.
have been the 3 women that have been.
That's awesome because women
Yeah.
rock.
Now, who was the
That's
other
why.
longest sovereign? Was Elizabeth the? I thought it was Elizabeth.
No, Victoria the first, and then I think Elizabeth the first.
the young,
is second.
which was the movie The Young Victoria with Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Was that her?
Yep, that's
Okay.
Queen Victoria.
And then
or
the other
Mrs.
one,
Brown with Dame. Judi
and the
Dench.
other one was okay. Oh, you're right. And then the other one was Elizabeth, the Virgin Queen, right? Which
Yes,
was
yes.
Kate
Blanchett.
Blanchett, yeah.
Oh, I wish I knew any of the things you were talking about.
Oh,
how do you
oh
think?
my
How do you
God.
think I feel? I'm over here.
At least I know the actresses. Clayton.
Elizabeth, don't see the Virgin Queen isn't very good, but the first one, Elizabeth, is
Yeah, so good.
amazing. And then Mrs. Brown with.
Does this have anything to do with the Boleyn girls?
Yes,
I did read that
her
book.
mother was
No.
Anne Boleyn.
No. Yes, Elizabeth the first
Yeah.
mother.
Okay, because I did read that the other Boleyn, and it was real good.
Yeah.
It was a long time
All of
ago.
Philippa Gregory, I think that's her name. All her books are about that.
It was so good.
So I mean, it was just a lot. It was a lot of fun to watch because I mean, and again, for us a little bit older, like I watched the
Who know the
Charles and
original?
Diana.
I watched that wedding
Charles
too.
and
So
Diana,
you
like,
saw
I saw the we saw
Will being born.
We saw the original Diana wedding, didn't we?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know how old
I
you are,
did.
but I don't think you could.
I'm
I didn't.
35.
I'm 32 and a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
2
it was-
3/4.
I bet you really would have remembered it.
I don't remember it. I mean, you
do.
may.
I was gay at a very young age.
I remember going to
Not
the
John
George
Mansfield.
and Dragon actually with my parents. We went once.
George.
I know, right downtown. Like we
Yeah.
lived way in the West Valley. We went
That's
to
a
the
good
George and
place to go to
Dragon,
it.
and then we went there right after. We went once, and we thought it was so good. And I was like, I'm in England. That was fun. And then we went right after Princess Diana died, and I remember it was like mobbed. Like people
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
get enough of George and Dragon, and that's all I remember about the royal family. We were not like royal people.
Yeah, July of '81 they were married, and I
Oh
mean, me
yeah,
and
no,
my
I
mom,
was one.
me and my mom watched
All
the
of it.
entire thing.
I have watched all of them. My mother is obsessed with the royal family as well,
Yeah.
and we've watched all of those movies. And seriously, one of my favorite movies is The Queen, and that movie really like touched me. The way she acted and the way that she
Who was in
reacted
that?
towards
Helen Mirren.
It was Helen Mirren, and she got the best actress for the Academy Award for that year. And it was amazing how she reacted to Diana's death. And you didn't know going into it, you thought it was going to be all about her. It was about her reaction to Diana's death. And how
Did she care?
she did care, but it was about how the family was going to react to it. She wanted it to be a private family matter, and the whole story of the movie was that the country didn't want that. The country wanted to see her out there saying, this happened, you need to react to it.
Yeah.
And finally, the prime minister, who has more power than the queen, but the country basically wants to see the queen. The prime minister was Tony Blair at the time and was basically begging her, please come out and say something about this.
Interesting.
But
Please come out.
they're British. They don't show a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
They're
Right,
the royals. It's all very like stiff upper lip. Like this is how we
Staid
behave.
behavior.
And then like one of the stories that they talked about was that she wanted to be a grandmother. She wanted to get the boys to Balmoral, hide them in Scotland, have like privately help them grieve because they were very close to their mother.
yeah.
And she was being a very good grandmother. And they were coming to her and saying, you have to come back to London. And she was like, I need to be with my grandsons. Like, this is a family matter. They've lost their mother. I didn't like her. Like, she couldn't
She didn't
stand
like
it.
her at all?
Oh, no.
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 But wasn't
A
it
lot
an
of people think she-
arranged, like
a lot
an
of people think she had her
arranged?
killed.
But was it? No.
And the husband was the worst. Her husband was such a jackass.
Wait,
I don't-
weird
what's his
old
name?
Philip?
Prince,
Or,
Prince Philip.
Yeah, Prince
He's
Philip.
such
Windsor.
a jerk. And he
Casual
was-
racist. Bless his
Oh,
heart.
he was the
Oh
casual.
my god!
Casual
And
racist.
what was the actor that played him? Oh
It's,
my god,
James
he's
Cromwell.
such an asshole in it. And he was like telling her like, no, and it's gonna be the funeral is gonna be a procession of homosexuals and yeah, like he was
Oh,
like
he's such a racist
such
hater.
a jerk.
Yeah, and then they don't play him. She comes out good in the movie. He doesn't.
Yeah.
But they were really trying to, for the first time ever, because they had learned all their mistakes from her. They did everything wrong with Diana. They kept fucking up.
Because wasn't it kind of an arranged marriage?
Yeah, they always were. Because they needed
Until Kate.
They needed royal blood and a virgin, and what they got was a really bad marriage. What you get when you start shopping for a bride instead of finding someone you like. And that's what they're saying. This one, they've known each other for a long time.
Kate
They're close
and
in
William.
age. Yeah, they're much better off.
Wait, can I ask you one of the interesting things about the royal baby is that they kept saying, when we were just randomly listening to the random nightly news, that's all they talked about. And they're like, oh, and William was by her bedside. William was by her bedside. William was by her bedside. And I kept thinking, and I said to Kelly, what the fuck? Why wouldn't he be? Like, it's so weird. And then one of the articles said, and in an unlikely turn of events, kind of straying from the tradition, William was by her bedside. And so apparently what I got from the TV news is that that's not tradition.
That's not tradition until America, like 30 years ago. The men were in the waiting room far away.
Wait, even after the baby, when the babies were born and after?
Yeah, like that. This is a new thing. This is not some. Yeah,
Really?
men had no part of childbirth until very, very recently.
Really?
The man was not needed.
Now they have their cameras in their
Right.
vagina.
This is a
Which
new
we
thing.
actually chose to
this
not
is your
do.
mother's
We have
vagina
pictures. We have
expanding.
enough pictures right before and right after. I
We're
did
only
not
like
want
three
pictures
generations.
of that.
We're only three
My
generations
God.
into babies being born in hospitals.
Is that
Like, we're-
really true,
Yes,
Al?
yeah. That's American. Like my dad was nowhere near. Like you're just not. No one's fathers.
Wow.
Yours may have been because you're
Yeah,
younger,
my dad
but
was there.
that's
I mean,
a
I see
very
pictures.
It's a newer phenomenon.
So that's why it was such a big deal. Because I wondered, is he just a dick? Why is it such a big deal that he's
No, they just
in the hospital
that was part
room?
of the women's.
Or
like,
he was
BF
staying the
family.
night. They said he's going to stay
Can
the
I
night at
ask
the hotel.
this?
If Kelly would not have spent the night with me at the hotel room, we would have been
Yeah.
fucking divorced. I would have been
Oh.
like, take this baby. And
Hotel
I
room.
mean, hotel. And by that, I mean horrible hospital room.
Oh. It was
was
like you went in a
god-awful.
hotel.
No, I
I'm
wish.
about to give labor. Let's go to the Hilton. I have a question though. She came out and I saw her. She had a big bump. I thought it was just a little bump.
No.
She had a big bump.
It's still big.
Did that happen with
Yeah,
you?
oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's big, and then does it?
So after you get rid of the baby, I was the same way. I thought it's just going to all go away.
Yeah.
But it still is pretty big.
Is it
for a
air
while.
in there? Like, do you push it in and it's like bloop bloop?
You actually do have to do like massage,
The
and you wear a
hell?
belly band, and the whole thing. Like
A belly band. The
yeah.
hospital gives you the belly
You
band.
have to buy that.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you buy it at QVC? Like they have
The
it like, next to
maternity
the,
stores, but
like
I'm
M&Ms?
sure QVC.
What has happened to this show? I don't know what has
I'm
happened to this
sorry.
show.
It's a true thing. But your belly is still. I mean, I was actually surprised to see her standing up, looking gorgeous in a dress,
Yeah,
holding a
she
baby
looked great.
outside the day
I
after
would have
she
worn
gave
a
birth.
muumuu though. I wouldn't have had my belly
Well,
showing. I would have been
it
like,
was still actually pretty big, but I was like crying,
It's huge.
depressed
I
in a
saw
hotel
her- I
room
saw her
trying to
tits up.
breastfeed. Like I was I was a wreck the day after I had
Yeah.
Palmer. I hadn't slept in 24 hours. I like couldn't breastfeed. I wanted like food. It was horrible. It was really
you
horrible.
wanted a Big Mac.
I did, and she looked gorgeous.
And you know that they did the makeup. She got in that car and she was
yeah.
like, "Get me the fuck out of here."
Yes.
Right.
She won't be seen again on camera for like 3 months.
And nor should she.
No.
I don't.
Yeah,
If
don't blame
I
her.
like a normal. I was thinking about that too. As a normal mother, like I like to take my daughter to the zoo. That's fun. And I just can't imagine being a royal. You can't take your child to the zoo. Okay, that's all. I'm really
But that's what Diana changed. Diana took them everywhere. Diana took them everywhere normal. They went to the zoo. They went to amusement
parks. I saw them on the roller coasters.
Yeah,
They were showing
she was
pictures.
the first one that ever did that. They got to have normal childhood.
Right, and that's
God bless the Windsors.
Bless your hearts.
You never told me what that was.
what.
That's green light.
But
Green light
green's
means
okay.
you're about to get the
No, green's
shut
okay.
off.
Yellow, wrap it up. Shut up. That's I'll let you know.
Okay. We have these light bulbs.
I don't even take the light
for you
cues.
out
I
there.
take the Clayton facial
Yeah,
cues.
that's that.
Yeah.
Them, yeah.
So,
I'm too busy watching him look at himself. It's cracking
yeah,
me
that's
up.
cracking me up too. So,
Because I'm like, sweetie, look at the camera.
yeah. But then he's gonna look even more stupid as he looks just
when
up
you
in
watch
the...
it next week back, you're gonna be like, why did
Why
I never
did I
look at the camera?
I love
The camera's up there.
I don't care about
up
the camera.
Up there.
He doesn't care.
It's like
I'm so glad my back is turned because otherwise I might be in the
Katie
same
thinks
boat.
I'm
Aren't you
looking
proud
at
of me?
her. She's just
I
like,
do. I'm
I'm
like,
gorgeous
anyways,
tonight.
TV sir.
I bet
Get out of my way.
You're the same person who takes a photo of themselves with their phone and you look at yourself and start looking into the lens of the camera. Drives me insane.
No, I never
look
do that.
into the lens of
I
the
hate
camera.
people. I don't
Oh, no.
know why those people take photos of themselves.
I don't
all the
either.
time.
Find a friend for the
It's
love of
like-
God.
And the ones,
Two-
they're always up here.
Right? Yeah. Whatever.
All right, so I'm gonna take his
like what you were doing before we started the show with your headphones
It was
on.
right here.
Whatever.
It was a
I'm
Snapchat.
gonna
Tell
take
my
his
friend.
last story and just take it over because I know what it is.
Well, I have. Wait, before you do.
Oh, I thought you were done.
No, I am. I just have two little comments in regards to the story
And
of that
yes.
kid.
Yeah.
Two
Absolutely.
things. One was a meme on Facebook that I thought was funny. Why the fuck? We created our own nation. Why the fuck do we care about the royal family?
Good point.
That was one that I thought was really good.
Point,
Because
actually.
we don't have a royal
Very good
family.
And
point.
number
Besides
two,
Angelina and
the other
Brad.
one that I saw was that they should name it George Michael because the baby took so long
Oh,
to come
God.
out.
Yeah. Well, George is very possible. Michael's a stretch. George Alfred would be good.
Ooh.
So go ahead.
Okay, so the last one, I'm just going to steal it from you because it's the show that I watch. So Elizabeth Hasselbeck officially left The View.
That
They
wasn't
announced
my
it on
last
a
one, but
Tuesday. They left. Well, we got to be done soon because it's
All right.
8:30 and we're on deadline.
Shit, Jesus H.
So Elizabeth Hasselbeck left The View, and then in a quick turnaround, they announced Jenny McCarthy. And wow, was everybody ready for that one, including Doug Wilkie, because of her stand on vaccinations.
Right.
And I did want to ask
We
you
talked about this the other week, though.
Are you vaccinating?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, please do. Okay.
Absolutely.
And because Jenny McCarthy with that whole thing with the autism, and there are questions. There's a documentary.
Well, there's not really questions, though, because it really hasn't been proven. It's
No,
like
but
weird conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theory, but there is an interesting thing with Kennedy, the one that just got off drugs, and now he's about the drug war. I think
Bobby. He's dead.
No, I think it's Patrick Kennedy. Recently off drugs, but anyways, he's been going around.
I saw him on the Today Show.
And he's just questioning, and it's the question that all of us, I think, of asking, as we've talked about other movies, when we talked about Incredibly Loud and Dangerously Close, or whatever the title of that movie is, I always get it wrong, that if there are, I can't remember how you phrased the question. If there aren't more, where are all the autistic people from the 70s? Why is this disease
good
why
question.
are there so many more?
Such a good question.
Or are we overdiagnosing? Because I heard that Asperger's just got wiped off the continuum.
What the fuck? It's no longer?
Yeah,
I have plenty of people in my life that have Asperger's that do shows with me, actually. So
really?
Yeah, but
so why is it not on
the spectrum? They've just taken it up, from what I hear.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, so that's I'm just wondering. So there was an interesting question of that is if
where were all those people then?
Yeah.
That's a really good question.
Why didn't we all go to school with more? And
I
work with
how,
a lot of
how
people
and where
that,
was that question answered? Because I want to know it.
It wasn't, and he's interesting, and it's one of the Kennedys, and it's the one that he went to rehab and he got out of rehab.
So is he against vaccination or for it? Or?
He just wants more. He has questions.
We were talking last
Bless
week
his heart.
about Jenny McCarthy and saying, how, and Aaron was suggesting that it's a bad thing that she might have this platform to discuss it, and for her to say vaccinations are bad, it might reach the masses and they'll say, oh yeah, they are bad, and they won't do it. I don't know, it's interesting.
But the diseases that are, I'm sorry, but to interrupt.
No, I just was going to say, you're right. She was very much against. She thought this was going to be, the only thing that Jenny McCarthy is going to be there for is to say, don't.
Right.
But the only other thing that it could do is it'll open up the fact that more people will look and think, and they will research this more, is what I'm hoping for, as opposed to...
But you'll also Google, because your worst enemy with disease, with anything, is the internet. Is Google. Do not, if you get sick...
Because
make sure whatever you're looking up doesn't end in .com or .org.
It's actually really true.
.gov or .edu.
It honestly is true. I thought that I had rheumatoid arthritis in one finger yesterday, and then when I told Kelly that, well, bless your heart.
All right, that's my favorite thing you have ever said. Ever.
Oh my God, Kitty! Seriously?
I texted my mom. I'm like, "Do you have rheumatoid arthritis?" And she goes, "Like, no, why?"
In your finger, just
for one day.
For one day.
It was early. It was very quickly onset rheumatoid arthritis.
Have you just never had something that just hurt randomly for a day?
So I said to Kelly, "Babe," and I was very serious. I'm like, "I think I have rheumatoid arthritis." She goes, "Don't you remember doing a backflip off the boat and hitting your finger on it?" And I'm like,
no. No.
I was enjoying an Oreo cookie. I can't be expected to remember things.
With guys with shiny shirts shaking drinks. Yeah.
So the funniest thing about Jenny McCarthy, and it is her main platform. She does have an autistic child. She does have questions.
Right. I hope she brings more than that to the show.
Because she will. She's very funny.
Because I don't want my daughter to go to school with a bunch of kids that are not immunized.
That is the answer. And the fact that smallpox is making a return in the Western Hemisphere.
All kinds of weird shit is. There's all kinds of weird SARS-y type of stuff happening.
But it's these diseases that are almost completely eradicated that are coming back because people are not making smart choices.
So ridiculous. Why? It's ridiculous.
Really go to your doctor, ask questions about preservatives, ask questions about all these things. Don't go by a celebrity. This is one of those times where .gov, .edu, look at your source when you're doing stuff on the internet. Very dangerous.
Well, I think we're going to use this transition to get us out of what was headlines and a crazy long drinking word segment, which is still going on. Drinking word is the drinking phrase of bless our hearts.
Bless Jenny McCarthy's heart.
Yeah. But now that Al Perkins is back in studio, we're going to kick off this. It's the entertainment segment.
Oh my God, entertainment! The Oscar season kind of officially starts off. The Toronto Film Festival releases its lineup, which means that somewhere in there is most likely our Best Picture nominees.
Already.
The Emmy nominations come out. They have canceled my closet favorite show that I really don't even like to admit that I watched, let alone that it got canceled. Summer TV is off to a huge start.
Booyah.
And I wrote the word Snow Patrol down.
Snow Patrol. Here we go.
I see. But before you go into your segment, I would like to welcome. We have Kuwait, obviously the United States, Canada, Japan, and Israel.
Oh, Okinawa!
Listening.
I hope it's Okinawa.
Okinawa.
Let us know in the chat room.
It was so much fun chatting with Okinawa 2 weeks ago. That was so much fun.
That's very cool.
And I'm drunk and I don't remember anybody's name, so
All
that's
right.
the same as it always
Hey.
is. So, okay, let's start with, and actually, we got to start for Katie.
I want to say Tyler in Tennessee is really thankful for entertainment. He
Yeah.
says, entertainment, thank gosh. He's like happy.
Okay, The Walking Dead, the first trailers are out. They look fantastic. Carl is going to be is the star.
Carl?
Really?
And Carl hit puberty whilst we were gone. When you weren't looking.
He was close. It was close.
And I haven't looked. Because I just got all my mail. I've been away for two and a half weeks, so I missed all my mail. So I have 2 Entertainment Weeklies to read. I'm so excited, and about 19 hours of television. Carl is on the cover, but I'm not sure if it's like depending. You know what I mean? There's like 4 different covers, and you got to go out and buy all 4.
Yeah.
But Carl is on the cover of mine. The trailer is out. There's all kinds of spoiler alerts in the new Entertainment Weekly, which I'm excited
I want
to.
the trailer. I want to know it.
I know. So the first big bowel movement of this week. That's where I'll
like
be.
a zombie?
Oh my God.
Well, I'm gonna be. That's where I keep it. So that's out. The number 1 movie this week was The Conjuring, which is those same people I keep talking about.
I saw it on Friday night. Just want to say it.
Scary?
12 o'clock. No, it's not scary.
Because I hate scary movies. I
but
can't do them.
I went with a bunch of kids from the Hairspray show, and I say kids because I'm the oldest one in it. I'm Corny Collins, The rest of them are kids. And this is my own personal opinion. It's your classic cliche movie where there's this scary doll, it turns its head, and everyone's like, "Wow!"
It's a true story.
Wait, The Conjuring is a doll movie?
No, it's not. It's a true story
Yeah.
of this couple that used to investigate haunted houses. They did the Amityville Horror, and the Amityville Horror was debunked. But this is those same people that I keep talking about that I've recently seen all their movies, that they're making movies for no money. They make them on pocket change, like $1.5 million, or the budget's $3 million, and they open at over $40 million. This one has bigger stars. It's got Lily Taylor. The cast is a little bit more respectable. They really worked on the script. Allegedly, it got an A- from Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow, that's actually good.
That's really good. An A- is like
especially for like a horror film.
movie. The best they get is a B- from them. Usually means good. So I'm going to see it tomorrow. I haven't seen it yet, but Tyler said the story was good, not as scary as he
I
was
sort of want to
expecting.
go with you.
Sometime tomorrow I'm going to see it. I don't know.
I'm excited
I
to see what you
can't see
think,
horror
because
movies
I think it
during
was
the
very
day,
done
during the
like,
night.
like it was the same stuff we've seen over and over again.
Well, all movies are the same stuff we've seen over and over.
Well,
again.
no, I
No.
mean, there's different
Do you know what
ones.
wasn't?
Like when Paranormal Activity came out, that was something new.
Yeah.
I thought Blair Witch Project when it first
Oh,
came out.
Blair
was
Witch
something
Project
new.
was crazy.
That was freaking scary when it first came
I
out.
did see
when,
that.
When I
That was
saw
when I was
it,
a little younger and I
it
was not so
like
scared.
back in like 1999 or 2000.
I saw it
and
right when it came
Arizona
out.
Mills had it. It was the first theater that was.
I didn't know it was. I didn't know it was
And
like like fake at that
they
point.
said that it was a film that they found in the dirt somewhere or whatever.
And people believe that.
Oh,
We
I
believed
did.
it.
Oh, I
And
believed
was the
it.
scariest.
Oh my god,
shit
I
ever.
believed that it was like an actual weird documentary, and I was freaked the fuck out.
Oh my god, I was so scared. Like the girls that I went with, a lesbian couple left in the middle of the friggin' show
because they thought they were going to be like murdered later.
and I was like there by myself with the rest of the friggin' people.
Scaredy
and then-
pants.
My friends went for popcorn and didn't come back till halfway through the movie, and they're like, "We don't get this movie; it sucks." I'm like, "Well,
Oh my
you missed
God.
half of it."
Al, can I tell you one movie I saw?
Mm-hmm.
I talked about it last week, but it was called The Way Back.
Oh, I'm dying to see
Was that good?
You guys, it was so good.
Yeah.
You know I hate movies. And it was like really, really good. Like Kelly made me go. I was pissed off because we sat in the second fucking row because we were late and the popcorn sucked and everything sucked and I was We were in the second row to the corner, all the way in the corner. And I was pissed. And it wasn't. It was at Harkins.
Yeah, Camel View 5.
And I want.
Do not say that about Camel View 5. That's the only place that shows art movies in the whole valley. It's our only hope.
And it is. And God bless it for that. But
Thank you.
my snooty patootie ass wants the AMC Esplanade with the reclining chairs and the
That's
full
across
meals
from
and the
my-
beer.
from my
Yeah,
place.
that's what
Yeah,
I
it's
want.
amazing.
Yeah. And so I was
They
Krabby
don't show art
Patty.
films, though.
No, they don't. But I was Krabby Patati. And when it started, and I was pissed, and I was like, I was literally like the crabbiest bitch date because I didn't have a reclining seat and a beer, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it's 10 minutes in, I was like,
yeah, because
I relaxed, and I'm like, oh, I'm so happy.
I'm
it was
dying to see
we
that.
both cried, happy tears. It was so good. You will love it.
I can't wait to
I
see
hope
it.
you will love it.
So, and then my biggest shame spiral show that I watch because I love Sutton Foster so much. I am such a fan.
Bless her
but
heart.
Bunhead, bless her heart. But bless my heart for admitting that on the air.
Yes.
Because last year I just referred to it to the show that I can't admit to watching. It got canceled finally, which is good because it really did
Thank
suck.
God, because it took over the show
What
that I
show?
really liked, which was called Make It or Break It.
Bunheads. But Sutton Foster needs a job. So somebody
Was
give
that
her a
on
job
ABC
quickly.
Family?
Yes.
That TV show or that TV channel has the craziest shows on there,
It
and they're
does.
all having sex and they're
It's
teenagers.
really bizarre.
But it's for families.
I know.
That's the important part.
For
to remember.
making
And then
families.
we were trying to watch Burlesque
making,
there this
exactly.
weekend, and they cut everything out.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, you don't watch that for real
Yeah.
movies. So now the Emmy nominations came out last year, and
Last year?
Last week.
last week,
Yes, for that.
the
Bless
surprising
your
thing,
heart.
and I am really surprised again for writing The Walking Dead for Clear, the episode where they're trapped in the room with Morgan from season 1, with Carl and
Oh, that
what's
was such
her
a
name?
good. And Morgan's son has been killed.
Yes,
And
that episode was not nominated for writing, and I mean, I get them for not nominating for acting because they're not very ambitious.
But was that your
bless their
favorite
hearts.
episode of the season, you think?
I think because that's the guy that's the head writer. Remember, and I was
Oh,
so
Morgan
upset
is.
because they changed. No. They changed the showrunner again for the third time, and I was so pissed off. But then the guy that wrote, and I don't know what it's really called, but I call it Sophia's in the Barn.
Oh, that was the best
The
episode
best
ever.
episode, and
the best episode
he wrote
ever.
2 episodes.
Oh,
he
I just
wrote
got
Clear.
chills. Sophia's in the Barn.
So he took over the whole show now. So the 2 best episodes of that entire show, that guy is now in charge of
Did
writing all the
Sophia's
episodes.
in the Barn not win?
It's never been they've never been nominated. So now they're in their 3rd year, no nominations. Dexter shut out. Now I get not
Wait, Dexter was shut out or
shut out.
shut out
He
everything?
was shut out of everything again. And I get Michael C. Hall. He's been
Wow.
nominated 5 times in a row. The show's had a little bit more love than maybe it should. Everyone doesn't love it like I do. But Jennifer
most people do.
Right. But Jennifer Carpenter is doing an acting masterclass on that show. And last season she was spectacular, and this season we're 4 episodes in, and Jennifer Carpenter is getting it done. If you don't know her, find her. She's only done horror movies outside of Dexter, but she is a masterclass in television acting. I think she's as good as it gets as far as drama goes. And she got shut out, and I don't understand that at all. Sons of Anarchy got a couple of nominations, but nothing
For what?
good.
These are all
For what?
AMC shows, right?
No.
No, but
Um,
a lot of them are off network shows.
Off network.
Yeah.
Because off network is doing so much
Yeah,
more.
they
It's
are.
doing
So
so much
much
better
better.
stuff. The Americans got nothing. It got a little nomination, but nothing for Kerry Russell and Matthew Rhys. And Matthew Rhys is what everyone's been talking about all season long. And then I
Brothers
am
and Sisters.
so disappointed because once again, and I'm so pissed off, Eden Scher from The Middle did not get nominated for Best Supporting
Oh,
Actress
is
in
that
a
the little
comedy.
girl that looks like Mayim Bialik?
Yes, and I.
She's
but
annoying.
No, fuck you. Anyways,
stand her.
Mayim Bialik is so good. She got nominated though, which is good. As Farrah, I can think she's got a really funny name on that show, and I can't think of it. So good love for everything. CBS did really well. HBO, of course, always gets the most nominations. None for True Blood. 7 nominations for Best Actress in a Drama, which is amazing. That means there was a 3-way tie for 5th place that they got to 7. And then it was the usual suspects, but it really was the snubs. Like The Walking Dead is pretty much owning TV's ass.
Well,
it's the number one
as
show.
it should.
Yeah.
I mean, I started watching it recently because I was bored again, and I just started with the first episode, and I remembered how much I remembered why I liked it. I think towards the end of the last season, I was kind of just watching it and trying to catch up real quick, and then watching the first 1, 2, 3 episodes again, I just remembered, and it was the black and white version, which I don't care about that, but
Yeah.
it happened to be on, and I remembered how good it is as a show.
And just season 2, when you get to Sophia's in the Barn, it's kind of a spoiler alert, but
Do you
won't
watch
see it
Walking
coming.
Dead?
I have the first season on DVD. My aunt sent it to me, and I have not watched it yet.
I'm sorry.
Everyone is telling me to watch this. All of my friends watch it. They're all
Yeah, the
listening right
first
now, and they're
season's
going
I'm
crazy.
sorry to
They're
cut you
talking
off.
about it.
I just wanted to know someone else that knows Sophia in the Barn, and sadly, it's not him.
Yeah, no. So that's good. Now, Veep.
I already know it's not you.
Veep got way more love than it should have. Netflix.
Wait a minute.
Which one?
Wait a minute. Veep is
got nominations.
awesome.
Veep got nominations for Anna Chomsky. It got for Tony Hale as the Leviathan.
I'm surprised at Anna Chumsky, and
No, but because
Chomsky.
it's one of those things like the Oscars. Like once something starts getting momentum
And I
votes,
love.
then they start running the boards.
What's her face? Christine, New Adventures of Christine.
Oh, yeah,
Julia
Louis-Dreyfus.
Louis-Dreyfus. I think she's like ridiculous, and I think that show is the best because of her. I like Tony Hale. Anna Chomsky, whatever you say that. I'm not super obsessed with her.
But
in
it
the
really
show.
does. Once a show starts, once they start getting momentum, John C.
But
Reilly.
do you think that she's a little bit overdone?
You're right. You're,
like,
you're not
she's
missing.
not.
The point is that once they start going, then they just start checking every name in the category.
Right. Okay.
John C. Reilly has an Oscar nomination for Chicago. That just meant that you just got to the Chicago box and you just started.
Oh my god, and
boxes.
he's like really not that good.
Right.
Did
That's
any of the new shows get nominated? Like Behind the Dome,
Newsroom?
or
No,
Newsroom?
Under the Dome.
Under the Dome.
Under the Dome is
Ooh,
too
Under the
new.
Dome.
That'll be next
Okay.
year. Newsroom only got one for Best Actor. Nothing for
For who?
True
For what's
Blood.
his name?
Nothing for Mindy Kaling, which was really sad because that show's hysterical.
I'm just not into
What
that
about
as
Girls?
much.
And nothing from Girls?
Girls got it, but Girls sucked this year. So I think
Oh.
I think
I was into
now
it.
we're just riding the coattails of season one.
So
Girls
Mindy
season two.
Kaling, though, I'm not into her show.
Oh, that's the best news. That to me, that's the best show of last season. That was the winner of network TV. But because she just and now they have the thing on there.
She's
about,
funny, but
I don't know that show really
I'm
hit its stride.
terrible.
to me, it's not
all
like
the
Veep. Like I
shows.
watch Veep, and I like I don't tape any of those, but I cannot wait to go watch all of Veep. And when Mindy Kaling, I'm like, if I'm bored.
But go back and watch. They hit their stride.
Okay.
And they do a couple switches. They try a couple different, like all of a sudden she has a neighbor kid. Like they really do, like shows what they do in like the 8th season where somebody has a baby and you don't know why. They did that in the Mindy Project. All of a sudden she's got a neighbor kid that she's watching for 2 episodes and the girl just disappears and they throw into traffic because it wasn't funny. And she has a boyfriend that's not funny and they just and that's the episode where she walks into the wall. Like there's a boyfriend that's not quite working and she's in a glass room and she sees him on a date and she's trying to get out of the room, but it's a room surrounded by glass doors and she keeps walking into glass doors. She's like, what am I, a bird? 'Cause she just keeps walking. And they take funny ways and they just keep rebooting the show, and by the end of it, it was amazing.
Did you have you watched? Okay, I was just thinking about it. Just kidding. Dead air. Go on.
All right.
So, and now
I'll remember.
Thank you for that, Katie.
Summer TV.
JK.
I know.
You're
Okay.
so
And they
good
put it
with
on
your
there. Orange
words.
is the New Black. I have not started
Oh my
that
god,
yet.
lesbian sex. Booyah.
But everybody has been lighting
Yeah,
up my
it's
phone and
happening
my
in there.
Facebook with Orange is the New Black. So trust me, by next week I'll have information about
Okay.
that. Summer TV is just at its peak. Under the Dome, killing it in the ratings. It's doing The Walking Dead.
So cool.
All of TV will change, just like
Yeah.
it did for The Walking Dead. All of TV will
It's
change
going to be
from
the
Under the
new
Dome.
Lost, right?
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, they brought some of the Lost writers on,
Oh.
or producers, or
Okay.
That's who
something.
created it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just because they're all fans of Stephen King.
Right.
They have good
So
taste.
cool.
So that is getting such huge ratings that summer TV is now here to stay. Like it's not just cable TV anymore. All networks now will go to summer seasons.
I wish Big Brother would be year round.
Oh my god.
That's my favorite summer show.
No. And that's exactly what we're getting away
No,
from.
I know. That's my
But-
favorite. That's a summer show. That is my favorite.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what finally, thank God, we're getting away from. Scripted TV is coming back.
Yeah, but also I love Big Brother. So
I know that, yeah.
No, praise God about that.
And thank God they're all racist, so the show will get
Oh
canceled.
my God, it's so
but,
bad.
Under the Dome, like killing.
The show will not get canceled.
No, but they
They
are
just have
all
another
racist.
season
No,
of
but what
this.
they're saying is
They are casual
because
racists.
Reality,
They are full-time racists.
No, but they're bad. This
I've
year.
heard that. I've heard.
Bad.
We were talking about that last
Yeah.
week
They're
with,
Yeah.
homophobic.
with
Aren't they
Ernie.
homophobes?
And
There's
racist.
homophobes.
Well, the one is, and
Yeah.
her name is spelled Aryan, like the Aryan Brotherhood.
Yeah, they're hitting
AARYN. You are basically burning crosses.
Yeah. So quickly to get this done.
Yeah.
Charlotte, I just cut up on Dexter. No one cares. But
No.
Charlotte,
So sad.
Charlotte Rampling, and this one's an actor, so we should really take notes when
Well-
I say master class on acting.
Oh,
Charlotte
hold on.
Rampling.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Charlotte Rampling
Rampling. Do you
is-
spell that with an R?
Yeah, is on Dexter and amazeballs. Like
Amazing.
just I cannot stress
just
to you.
wish I watched it, but I
the
don't.
fact that you get to see Charlotte Rampling in a serial killer TV show, just knocking it out of the park. And I was sitting there because I watched like 3 episodes today, trying to get caught up, and I'm like, please let her go with Jennifer Carpenter. Like, let Jennifer Carpenter, with all the good work she's been doing for the last 2 years, let them find a way to get Charlotte Rampling and Jennifer Carpenter into a room and just tear each other up acting. And they did. She becomes Jennifer Carpenter's therapist. And I was like, all right, get me popcorn, get me coffee. I just want to watch this shit go down. Charlotte Rampling's an old 60s actress, British. She's a dame. She's like the Judi Dench, Helen Mirren. She's in that category of like really revered British actresses. Like fantastic at what she does, subtle acting, like just really good style, and out of place on a Showtime show about a serial killer.
Yeah.
But she plays the person that built the code that Dexter kills by. Turns out she was the psychiatrist.
There's a code. There's a code.
He kills
It's
by
like
a code because he's a
Always
serial
a code.
killer that only kills killers. So they knew he was. They
I
knew
sort
he
of
was.
knew that.
Yeah, they knew he
That's
was.
about, I watched episode 1 and that's it.
Yeah. Oh, you got to go. It's the best show on TV. So
Charge him
I
rather
have
more.
literally family members that want to like spit in my face because they're like, "Do you watch Dexter?" I'm like, "Mm-mm."
I told you.
And
All
they
I wanna
hate
do,
me.
and we did it all through P-Town. Like we were drunk the one night walking down the street, and it's Bear Week. We did
Serial
nothing,
killing?
We did nothing with bears.
It was
like,
Bear Week.
But we were just. I know, and you put that. We were bear adjacent. We were just there. It was like if we were there when they were doing like tiny toddlers doing pageants. They just happened to be there at the same time we were. We weren't doing anything with them.
No, I understand.
It was just going on.
But there was a bear thing happening here too.
Barracuda.
But there was some furball. It's
yeah,
called
bear.
furball.
Oh,
And I
shit.
thought furball was the funniest thing I'd ever heard until I saw them all coming at me on my bike in
Was there?
singlets. They were walking down the street, and it was people of all sizes.
Okay.
All in singlets. Some of them like, wow, you have an amazing dick, and I can see the entire thing through that singlet, to,
Yeah.
oh my God, you have no penis, and I can see that through your singlet.
Oh, that is bad.
Yeah.
Sounds like a song, doesn't it?
During a
Does.
heat wave. During literally
A
in
tropical
a heat
heat
wave.
wave.
I feel a
Oh,
heat
bless your hearts, you're all white. Nobody went to Martha and the Vandellas.
How many
So
bears
anyways-
did you hook up with?
None. But so anyways,
Don't lie.
as we were walking down the
He's
street
not
and
lying.
we were talking to people, it was very much like being, because we were back east, we're as far east as you can be and still be in the U.S. But we were walking down the street back to our place, and everybody is on the street. All the bars are emptying, the
It's
ice
so
cream
cool.
shops.
It's the coolest,
Everyone's
coolest,
talking
coolest.
and interacting, and you're having conversations, and you're meeting people, and so, you're on bikes. 2:00 in the morning, everyone's drunk, everyone's talking. Me and Kevin and Matt were trying to do the First Wives Club dance down the street. And people were getting in our way, and Matt didn't know the words.
yes.
So
What was
So
that
you don't
song?
own me? He doesn't know the words to You Don't Own Me?
Yeah,
You
so
don't
Matt was all
own
mad
me.
because he wanted
Wait,
to song.
I want to sing that.
But that's me, Matt, and Kevin. 'cause-
own me.
Stop.
I'm not just one.
So this is what I was dancing down the street with.
Okay,
Two people
got
that
it.
don't know
You
it, but they're
don't
faking it.
Yeah.
That was my life. But as we were going down talking, so then Kevin's like taking his picture with hot guys on the street, and he's still staring at himself.
Yeah.
And Matt's doing his thing, and I'm like, all I want to do is get drunk and talk about Dexter. And like people are coming up to me like, we're on vacation, we can't watch
We wanna
Dexter.
do You
And,
Don't
like,
Own
And
Me.
you were like desperate.
I'm like, we don't have Showtime either. And there were people on the
God.
street eating ice cream, eating pizzas. It was so
I
much
feel
fun.
like I wonder if you stayed in the same house I stayed in P-Town.
No, it
there's,
was.
there's like a million of them, so probably
clean.
not.
I know,
Do you know
but
that
it's
one
so
black girl? Yeah.
It didn't smell like.
I don't
Wait,
actually.
banana.
I don't actually know her.
The newsroom is back on. Jane Fonda has a job, so again,
Yes,
very
thank
happy.
God.
I'm a little bit behind on that.
I just started the newsroom.
It's very
like
good.
watched 2 episodes.
But I haven't seen. I'm only like in the
Wait,
first
so
episode here.
Real Housewives wasn't nominated at all?
No, I don't do reality TV.
Oh
I
my
like it. No, I do.
God.
Yeah,
When do
I
we
do.
get to reality?
We don't.
TV? This
We
is
don't.
where-
But we could because
Well, I am
watch
doing
reality.
my segment on reality TV. Hurry up, let's go.
So I mean, that's all I got. Oh no, so a couple little things because there's still time.
There's still time.
There's still time. Okay, so when I was there, I saw, and this is for the gay members of the audience.
Both of you.
Of which there may be a few.
So got to see we're there. It's Bear Week. We were in a gay. It's a gay subdivision of a pretty liberal state and city.
Yeah.
You're out there. It's not an island, but it's pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
You're just out there, and there's a sexual energy to the room.
And what is that?
No, it's
to the island, you mean?
No, but everybody's there, and not every. You're there. It really is for the community because even on we were on the ferry ride over, and the boat captain was coming on giving his announcements on safety, and he's like, "But we just want to make sure that we say welcome to all the bears that are coming out on the ferry today," and they just kept acknowledging that they had an all gay, mostly gay, I say cast. People on the ferry, what would you call those?
Passengers.
Jesus.
Woo! Bless your heart.
Not a show tune.
Yes.
So they were really fun
Conjunction.
with that. We got off the boat, and it was just a week of being with in an all gay environment where everybody. And the good thing about the Bear Week was that the bulk of the people were older. Like, you weren't explaining 1979 to anybody.
Right.
Like, everybody was pretty much on board with what we were doing.
Right.
Which was a tough year
Which
to
was
explain.
what?
I just want to say.
It was the year Donna Summer was the most popular, so we'll get there soon. But so it was just really happy, very joyous, very like it was just very celebratory to be there. We rented bikes, we rode them out to the beach, and we saw Larry Kramer, and we see him walking down the street, and I'm pointing out, I'm like, okay, I have a hard time with actors when I'm in LA and New York. When I see an actor, I'm like, I think that's Paul Rudd, but I can't tell. I was like, that's Larry Kramer on the bike. So then entertainment comes. All these big stars comes. Like Cheetah Rivera is going to be there. Sutton Foster was just there. Idina Menzel is playing there. Like big Broadway stars come over, and it's a big theater community. Tennessee Williams wrote plays there. Eugene O'Neill wrote plays there. They have all these tributes to these authors, these playwrights that have written there. So they have the Providence Town Theater, and they're putting on the Normal Heart. So I said to Matt, I'm like, I would love to see the Normal Heart. Larry Kramer wrote it in 1985. It's about the start of the AIDS crisis, how the GMHC and the gay GAA, I can't remember what it stands for, but how they turned into ACT UP. Very powerful piece.
ACT UP, Fight AIDS.
Right, that's them. That's Larry Kramer. That's him.
Oh my
He
God.
started that.
Rent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, and there. So you have the reference. That's Larry Kramer that started that movement. So, and he's still alive. I think he got diagnosed in like 86, but still with us. So we go see this, and it's the tiny Providence Town Playhouse. Maybe seats 100. Maybe if 15 people stood up.
Yeah.
And 12 of them were in the cast. Mostly a volunteer cast. It's like an actors in residence kind of thing. They're not paid. The main character, she was called Dr. Death back in the 80s. I can't think what her name was, but she was the doctor that had the most AIDS cases and kept getting shut down. She wasn't allowed in to be part of the research, even though she had all the data.
Why wasn't she allowed in?
Just all the politics. It's a very political show, and screaming and yelling and fighting. And the real doctor, her mother and her sister were in the audience. So the woman that was playing her was a nervous fucking wreck, because you're in a theater where like the audience is, I mean, the actress was this far away from the first row.
Yeah. And it's the mother and the actual sister of your character.
Yeah, so crazy shit. So we're sitting there, and I mean, I was like sobbing. Like,
I was going to ask you, is it like
sobbing,
emotional
Matt's
pants?
crying, and Kevin's like, can you guys just kick me or hit me? Like, why did you take me to this? And we were like, oh, you might enjoy it.
Oh my
and
God.
I mean,
really intense.
I was like my shirt was wet. It was so beautifully done. The Normal Heart. So then Kevin's like all upset and mad at us, and I'm like, Kevin, the good news is though, we saw the character on stage on a bike 3 days ago, and he's hale and hearty. So there's a happy ending for that character.
For that one.
Because we just saw him. So it was really good. And then Armistead Maupin did a speech. His new book is called Anna Madrigal in the Morning. I don't know what it's called, but it's coming out. He read excerpts from it. He told...
Oh, wait, Ellen Barkin is in the Normal Heart.
Yes, she won a Tony.
In the Broadway revival.
She won a Tony. The revival was like 2 years ago. It was the first time it made it to Broadway. They called it a revival. Just for Tony.
Jim Parsons?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, big cast. It won the Tony for best.
Patrick Breen. I mean, that's a big cast.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very important show. It ran off Broadway in the 80s. It was its Broadway debut, but they had to call it a revival, even though it was its first time on Broadway for the Tonys. It was just a great experience. But the Armistead Maupin and his talking about the tales of the city, and how Kate Clinton helped him write the 5th or 6th book of the series. He wrote it for the San Francisco Chronicle. It was like these daily stories of like, he would take the story of you,
right,
Katie, and he would tell your story as it relates to what's going on in Phoenix right now. And then the next week it would be about Clayton, and the next week it would be about you, and then the 4th week would be about me, and the 5th week you would see how you and I met in a grocery store and would become friends. And then it turns out you lived with him, and then you did a show with him. And by the end of the book, you find out how
6 degrees of separation.
How all of these characters come together and become friends.
I'm really surprised you have not seen that series.
No, I'm Googling Armistead Maupin, and he looks like a very nondescript guy. So when he walked up, were you just like, I know you?
Oh, because I mean, we've talked about this, that when I go to San Francisco, I tell the cab drivers I want to go to Russian Hill, and they're like, it doesn't exist. It's not a real place. I'm like, but in my mind, it is. So, and he kept calling Laura Linney Marianne, and Marianne Laura Linney. And he's like, does anybody else do that? And I'm like, I do.
I know.
And then,
and now they're friends on Facebook.
So anyway,
how did I get that in my head? How did I get, you don't know me?
Own
How
me.
did I get that?
Own me.
You don't know me.
Because you don't know what you're fucking doing.
So,
oh my God, my finger's broken. Now. I can't snap anymore because I have a broken finger.
You have rheumatoid arthritis.
One if you're many times.
So he's telling his story about getting the thing together because someone had told him that they would like him to make the first book, and he was at the Fairmount in L.A. and he was a younger queen at the time, 30s, kind of cute, and Rock Hudson was at the Fairmount and ran into all these boys and was like,
Rock Hudson gay.
A little bit. So Rock Hudson runs into them and
no
says,
homo.
Yeah. But Rock Hudson says, come up to my suite and, hang out. And Armistead Muffin was very serious. He's like, well, that's great, but I have to do this work. So he went into one of the rooms of the suite and he put down all the pages of the story and he was trying to arrange them in what order would all these things make sense as to how they meet each other. And Rock Hudson goes, well, what are you doing? He's like, well, I wrote this thing. I'm trying to make it into a book, but in the morning, the first episode of it comes out in the paper. And Rock Hudson was like, that's really cool. What a great accomplishment. What a great day for you. So while he was working, Rock Hudson went down and got the early edition of the Chronicle and brought it up to him and presented him his first piece of work.
Oh, that's so cool.
And as he read it, and it just happened that the piece that he picked with Marianne to start it was Marianne was talking about her parents watching Macmillan and Wife.
With Rock Hudson
TV with Rock Hudson in it, and he was so flattered that he was the first part of the thing. So he offered Armistead Muffin his house in Palm Springs to put the book together.
Oh.
I mean, it was bored the shit out of these two, but
no,
it was
that's
such an exciting story of
Is Rock Hudson gay?
Rock Hudson was, and he's dead.
Hudson was very
was
gay.
Rock Hudson gay?
Yes.
Is that a real question?
Yeah, it's a real question.
She's a lesbian. She doesn't know. Yeah,
that's what Google's for.
I'm Googling him right now.
Google and Doris Day.
Tyler, there's no problem with bears. I just wasn't there I wasn't there for that kind of a party. But we took lots of pictures, and they were very attractive. And
Katie's getting an education right now.
Hudson died, becoming the first major
60 seconds to
celebrity to
wrap
die
up.
from
and then Miss
AIDS-related
Richfield,
illness.
1981.
I saw the
I
picture.
love her. Was she there? I knew. I was
Oh
going
my
to
God,
ask you were in
saw her
P-Town.
too?
You
I have
saw
a
Miss
picture.
Richfield.
Did she live there? Because
No,
that's her place, though. She
but
loves
I
going
have a
there.
picture with her from the one time that I was in P-Town. I've been there twice.
She performs there quite a bit.
there
She's
all
been
the time.
here. She performed at BS West, and I had the great good fortune the 1 week that no one else had time, so I took her around for the day to show her.
No,
she's
to
very
show her the
classy.
town.
She does not like vulgarity at all.
I'm about to Facebook my picture with her. Just
Mom and I saw her when
because.
she was doing there was a cooking show that was being filmed here for a brief time, and she was the host of the cooking show, and we went to see the taping of that a long time ago.
So nice, and stands outside and takes pictures, walks around town, and I saw him out of drag and said hello, and he was like, oh, okay, you know me out of drag. And I'm like, yeah, we walked around Scottsdale, looked at the...
well, did he remember once you told him that?
Well, vaguely. He's like, that was a long time ago. I'm like, it's got to be 12, 13 years. I can't even remember.
I haven't seen that long in my world, does it?
No.
No, there's that.
I'm about to repost my
and mine's on Facebook right now.
pic with what's her face
with Miss Richfield.
1981.
1981. You got to say the nice.
We are wrapping up the end of hour 2, and I'm exhausted just because, and I haven't barely said anything
Well,
this
bless
hour.
your heart.
Bless my heart.
Bless
That's our
your
drinking
heart.
word. Please feel free to drink along. Join us in the chat room. Kuwait, Israel, Canada, all these other places are.
Oh, Canada. Get in the chat room. Tell us where in
Let
Canada.
us know what's going on.
I've recently been in Canada.
Japan, Israel, Canada, U.S., and Kuwait, all in the chat room, or listening right now. We got much more coming up. Hour 3 is coming up. Katie's going to have sports coming out of this next break. Very exciting.
Oh my God.
It's Steve Cerna, Katie June, Al Perkins, and me. I'm Clayton McKee. It's the show. It's a Tuesday night, and we'll be back right after this on the other side for Hour 3.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Oh, good evening. It is the beginning. It's the beginning of hour 3. This is the show. It's Q Talk America. We come at you, like it or not, every Tuesday night, 7 to 10, Phoenix time. Coming to you from the palatial Q Talk America studios in the heart of Arizona, located right in a little gay office complex. Phoenix Pride is right next to us and right above us, Ion AZ Magazine.
Okay, I need to interject because you're saying where we are.
Yeah.
Barbara Seville, who needs to come back and co-host with us. Did someone...
Is she available now?
I don't know. Did someone start some sort of group home or methadone clinic near the Fry's on 7th Avenue in Camelback? There's a constant stream of unstable-looking people at the store in the McDonald's. It's the zombie apocalypse that used to be at 19th Avenue in Camelback.
Yeah, I've
they
heard
had
about
to
it
go
frequently.
12 blocks.
Yeah, they did. And I've actually, when I took Sean there the other day, we were dancing at LA Fitness, and I said, hey, run to the grocery store with me real quick, because we were driving together. He goes, sure. And then we walked in, and he's like, oh my God, is this the zombie apocalypse? Yeah,
Yes,
Sean.
it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But now I want you all to now you've all witnessed it. I've been talking about it since last summer. It wanders up and down Camelback during the
Right.
hot months of the summer.
Right.
And they just look like they're zombies because
Well,
it's so goddamn hot.
The actual methadone...
Also, they're on drugs.
True. And I
But the methadone clinic is actually on 7th Avenue around Highland, Coolidge, right in that area.
Well, shit.
I
There you
believe
have
more
it.
in zombies than I do methadone. So
Wait, which Fry's is this?
7th Avenue in Camelback, across from
the
Charlie's.
crack fries,
Guys,
you know.
go to any casino at like
Where the
1 o'clock
zombie
in the
apocalypse is
morning
starting.
and the zombie apocalypse is happening. They're in front of those machines and they're like,
They are.
It is
They're
this.
smoking.
That's it.
They're smoking like you,
they're
Steven.
in. I only smoke one a day.
There's that. It is the beginning of hour
yeah,
3.
your friends are giving you up in the
Hashtag
chat
zombie.
room.
It's the show. It's the beginning of hour 3. We have been here since 7. We got about another hour to go. We're going to wrap this up. We have some thoughtful vulgarity coming up in just a little bit. Katie's got some sports. The drinking word, or really drinking phrase, is bless your heart. Something in regards to bless their heart or bless his heart or ain't he sweet? Something like that. I'm not sure what it is. When you listen back to this show, you're going to listen to hour 2 and learn all about Armistead Maupin in P-Town from Al Perkins.
And read the books. It's my book recommendation of the last century. They are the greatest 6 books ever written.
There's that.
They're just delightful, and you'll fall in love with all of them.
Well, at this time, we're going to kick this off. We got to get to some sports with Katie June, so here we go. Whoa.
And in sports, Brittany Griner was on Conan, but that bitch can't seem to make it her way on the court. Mercury takes a lead. Oh shit! On a hard loss to the Minnesota Lynx. Guard Sammy Perales waived her contract. Overwhelming heat and heart at the ESPY Awards. Ryan Braun is the biggest loser on the MLB, and Phil Mickelson wins the British Open as Tiger Woods and Lee Westwood fade on Sunday.
What I would like you to do is I'd like you to rehearse what you're going to say.
Yeah.
I think if you could possibly find time in your stay-at-home mom time to read your.
No, read them to her.
No, let me tell you what I
We
was
should
doing.
have practiced this at FES.
No,
I didn't
I was
understand that you were
Palmer, right?
You guys,
Yeah.
I was talking.
I learned while you were
I
gone.
was talking to Tyler about World War Z versus shit.
I was too. I got
Thank
you.
you. Like,
versus shit.
The
which
atomic-
apocalypse
Bless your
I
heart.
would rather have? Like, I would. Way more important than sports is like what kind of apocalypse I would rather endure.
Yes. She chose to be in The Walking Dead because she has a better chance of the machete.
Yes.
I chose The Walking Dead because of better writing.
They come at you a lot quicker in World War Z.
Oh, you
It's
ain't got a
way
fucking
scarier.
chance. And
Not a chance.
They pile up and climb the wall of
Not
Jerusalem. Where am I
a
going?
chance. So I just wanted. Okay, so we'll start there. All right. So we always start out with our Mercury news. Brittany Griner, our superstar, was on Conan. She went and talked to him about all kinds of life and love, and for some reason, bacon. I wish I had
Bacon double
an
cheeseburger.
audio right now. No,
Oh.
yeah, that and an audio right now, but I don't. But what's really frustrating is that Brittany Griner continues to get a lot of press, and I was also equally excited about her coming to Phoenix, but she is not performing. She's not showing up. They're putting her up. She's not showing up.
Right.
And I can't tell if that's Brittany or the coach. I think the coach is not very good, Corey Gaines. I think Brittany is... I know she had a knee injury prior to coming to the Phoenix Mercury, and I know she's holding out for the All-Star game that's happening this next weekend. But it's bullshit. You know, don't come to our team and, take our first-round draft pick, and then you come on the court and you can't perform. I think it might be the coach's fault. But regardless,
I just want to say this is the first time I'm at the studio and all the gay men are on their phones.
Yeah, it's true. No, it is true.
No, but I
Usually she has a lesbian sitting where you are.
It's actually so true.
Everyone is
It's
just
so
like,
true.
yeah.
There's normally
I'm getting called
They're
on it,
like looking at
but I'm
me.
listening.
But I love that at least Al pretends. He's like, I agree. Yep,
It's so funny.
Normally there is a Leslie right here, so we both care.
I'm trying to be your Leslie. I'm just looking at you
Thanks,
going,
Steven.
yes. And
Me
what about
or
the hot
yourself
dog?
on
No.
the
He's
screen.
looking at himself on the screen.
I really am.
You are
the
invisible.
Screen is
But
right
go ahead.
behind Katie.
I was just Marty and Aaron just
Sorry.
sent me a message. I just wanted to reply to them.
So anyway, it's a really tragic event. The Mercury took a very hard loss this Sunday to the Minnesota Lynx. Diana Taurasi scored 23 points.
So leave it to the grown-ups is what the lesson is from this.
Well, yeah, we cannot win without her. I swear to God, if she tore a tendon, broke an arm, or died in a plane crash, our team would fold and we probably wouldn't exist. She scores every single fucking point. She calls every single play. I literally can't understand what our team is doing. And it was really frustrating because we were winning going into the fourth quarter and we fucking fell apart. Against Minnesota Lynx, who is the best team in the league, everyone thought we were going to pull it out. Alas, we did not. Our guard, Sammy Perales, another Merc player, was waived. Her contract was waived in favor of a girl named Jasmine. Doesn't matter because it was only a 10-game contract. She might not be around for very long because Diana Taurasi and Brianna Gilbraith are our other guards, both very good.
And how many
Okinawa is in the chat room.
How many games, like, roughly is the season? Like, or how many months?
It goes from end of May, June, end of May through September.
Okay.
When the Mercury...
So every game's important. It's not like baseball where you can lose like 10 in a row and no one gives a shit.
No.
Okay.
Every game is really important. And I mean, like, the end of the season in September is the finals. So we started, it's a very short season. So we start mid to end of May. And in 2007, when they won, they actually won on September 18th, which is my birthday. So that was the last game of the finals. So they quit playing regular season in August. I mean,
so if they don't get their shit together,
really
then,
short season,
and then less pay for everybody until they get to Europe.
Pay. Yeah, no, it's a really short season. So there was overwhelming. Okay, excuse me.
Can I just say your
one
eyeshadow
second.
on camera looks crazy? It's super light. I'm looking at it right now.
I don't think that's eyeshadow.
Who's exactly you talking about?
Yours.
Oh, mine?
I don't think
it makes your eyes look like you cannot see that.
I think
I'm
look
not
how light
wearing
it looks.
eyeshadow.
Yeah, I think
so
it's-
it might just be
Or maybe
like
should have
washed
put
out with
makeup.
this.
Should have put
I
makeup
have
on
none.
the.
I have
think
mascara only because one time Oprah told me that if I'm going to leave the house
Oh,
with
there he goes. He fixed something.
out anything.
I didn't do anything.
You just touched something. You touched a button. that
I
made
did
it
not.
work. Yeah.
I was getting ready to make you about cum in your pants. Is what I was going to do. Look at this. Look at that, Steve.
It's happening.
Oh, Lord Almighty. So, excuse me. There was overwhelming heat.
Sorry.
An overwhelming heart, Stephen, at the ESPY Awards. Just like he did with the Miami Heat, LeBron James went back-to-back with the ESPYs. Almost 1 month after leading Heart to their second consecutive championship, James won the ESPY for Best Male Athlete, topping some other guys we don't really care about. To be in a category with all-day AP... That doesn't mean anything. Adrian Peterson, from the Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota.
Yep.
Marnie
will care about that. LeBron said to be in a category with Adrian Peterson is great. I'm really super excited. Oh my God. I literally thought this said he also done grab an SB. It didn't. But
he also done grab. Well, bless his heart, he done grabbed an SB.
But I must just be in the mind frame of these assholes.
Is this the first of your reading of this story?
He picked up another couple. It is. He picked up another couple of SBs.
I know it is.
One of the first female sports anchors on ESPN in the 90s, Robin Roberts, has worked with ABC Good Morning America for the past 2 decades, blazing a trail for women in broadcasting. She won the Arthur Ashe Courage Award, giving to an individual whose contributions transcend sports. They say her personal journey also served as an inspiration because she overcame life-threatening illnesses twice, of course, with 2 different kinds of cancer. Well, she says
She had breast cancer first.
and then
she had is it
bone or
cancer.
bone or
Blood.
blood.
It was a
cancer.
blood disease because she had to have a bone marrow transplant
Yeah.
that her older sister gave her.
Yeah. And she said, when fear knocks, answer the door. At this moment, I am filled with such gratitude. And I have to say, although I did not watch the ESPYs, I can only imagine that
She gave a phenomenal speech.
Would cry.
She gave a phenomenal speech.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Venus Williams took to Twitter to say, I loved Robin Roberts' speech. So eloquent and heartfelt. I was hanging on every word. Best moment of the ESPYs. So and Michelle Obama equally addressed her speech. A lot of people felt really good about it.
Yeah, I mean, and I honest to God, until you said that, I never put that together
I had
as
no
the woman
idea.
from
She was the same woman.
from the sidelines on the NFL games, and she got
No.
a lot of shit for
I'm sure being a first woman.
Well, first of all, she was
being on the sidelines of the football games, and she took a lot of shit for being there. And then she went in the locker room,
Right. So
and they got really
aside
up in
from just
arms.
being a woman, then she was black. So she's got black woman in the locker rooms, all those things going against her, and she prevailed over all of it. She was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And really excelled in it.
She's super.
The other thing was funny.
But her going in, remember the big brouhaha of her going in,
the
the
locker
locker
rooms,
room?
right.
Yeah.
I don't.
It was big. It was a big deal that she went in the locker
Yeah.
rooms.
So, and now it happens all the time. And
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit. But yeah, she literally. I mean, I know you say she paved the road, but she at least put the lines on the road. I mean, she
Yeah,
made it.
she really
put
did.
it together.
She's
Yeah.
very cool.
And I think my mom. If I think back, my mom wanted to be a sports reporter.
Really?
I think she did. I think she wanted to be a sports commentator. I think so. And she can let me know later about that. But I think my mom wanted to be that. Like, and back then, but when she was younger, they didn't let women do that when she was younger.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I'm
She
sure
wanted to
obviously
go in the
Robin was
locker
first.
room, but
Well,
they make such
Like mother, like son.
They make such a big deal about women like sports, but I mean, all the women that in my family and I know like some sport.
Yeah.
You know, like I have friends that like hockey or my mom like boxing. What the fuck?
Really?
Is,
Wow.
Like
Actually,
boxing
my
and golf,
grandma
like
did because
boring
my
and violent.
grandfather happened to be a semi-pro boxer. So my grandma watched boxing, and now but I mean, she watched it, and she
Yeah.
watched it like when he would turn it on. She didn't get up and leave the room and say, "Oh my god!" Like she's like, "Oh, cool, the match is on." You know, it's her thing.
So
And this,
speaking
you know,
of-
I'm sorry.
Speaking of sports, the guy on Echo Magazine was the openly first gay soccer
the
player to come out.
Yep, the first openly gay
Yeah.
rugby player.
Oh, and then did you see
Yeah.
the
Or
rugby?
not rugby, not rugby. He was
Soccer.
soccer.
It was
It was
soccer,
soccer, but did
yeah.
you see the rugby player that takes off his clothes now? Whose name I
No.
don't quite have.
No.
Type in nude rugby
Okay.
player, and it is worth it.
Well, that's
Oh.
pretty
That boy
exciting.
is
I hope
packing.
more of them are going to start coming out.
Oh, this guy's
I
not
would
out.
love
He
to
just
start
likes to be
seeing.
naked, and he's like, I don't give a shit. It's my body.
Gorgeous and hung Australian rugby player. Is that what he? Is
Yeah.
That, yep.
That's
Okay.
his
And
title.
They're not like
George Burgess.
George Burgess, and it's so funny because they're like they think it's a scandal, and he's like, it's my body. I put it out there, and they're like, well, don't you want to cover up? He's like, I have a really good body.
Why do I want to cover
And
it
they're,
up?
Yeah.
but like everybody's trying to make this big scandal that he's tweeting pictures. Like I didn't tweet it to anybody. I just put it out there.
Yeah.
If you're on
Why
my Twitter
wouldn't
account,
you?
yeah. And I mean with that body, I'm like, okay.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Click
the
here.
big blonde
it
guy?
Says, click
I
here if
saw
you
him.
dare to remove the rainbows, and I do.
Oh, and
Oh.
all you gotta do is dig a little further, and he's packing.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. You don't have to dig it all. There's penis on front
Oh,
page.
I thought it was just like short. Oh my God, he put
No.
naked pictures.
Yeah.
Put penis.
And he said there's more coming. So sit
Oh
back,
my God.
relax, grab a hand
Okay.
towel.
Enjoy. There's more to
He
come.
really has a crazy body.
Hey.
Penis.
And rugby's such a touchy feely sport.
Oh,
is.
there's that.
So in other news in Arizona,
Hey,
in
in other
Ameri-
news,
no, I'm just saying in American sports
Do you
because
ever
that's
miss it?
definitely European. Let's not talk about it.
It's Australia, but it's close.
And he uses Colgate whitening toothpaste.
Oh, Ryan Braun
Bless his heart.
is
Bless
the
his heart.
biggest loser in the MLB. He'll miss 65 games of the season after becoming the first in a potential group of Major League Baseball players to be banned for their connections to that. That clinic in Florida, and that's not surprising.
Nope.
He's from the Milwaukee Brewers. He's an outfielder who repeatedly denied doping, but has since come clean and says that he has had relationship with the Florida Performance Enhancing Clinic. He'll forfeit $3.4 million of his $8.5 million salary for the season. We've only scratched the tip of the iceberg, says Mitch Williams, a former All-Star who pitched in the major leagues and is also an MLB Network analyst. So bottom line is, we talked about it last week. We're just scratching the surface again in baseball of another crop of guys who is using for performance-enhancing drugs. They're talking Alex Rodriguez, Nathan Cruz of the Yankees, Nelson Cruz of the Rangers. I mean, it's like every fucking body. And I just say, let's just get it all out there. Everyone's using.
They're all using.
I'm sick of and I know this is so silly, but I'm sick of talking about you're using, but I don't know about you. They're all using. Yeah. Let's just call it what it is.
It's like
everyone's
cycling.
using and play fucking baseball, right?
Yeah, we're all using the same drug.
It's the next generation of sports. So you have to catch up. It doesn't matter. So everyone's using. So who's better? That's
exactly.
using.
So it doesn't matter. Everyone's using. So everyone's better. And it just is so
but it really,
weird and annoying.
You're never
going to go back to pure sports. Nope. Everyone's clean. You're never going to
But it's just like being back in the day. We didn't have protein shakes back in the day, you know? It would have been like, oh my God, someone had protein shakes. You ate chicken. Like, we have protein shakes, and someone would have found protein shakes and been like, oh my God, how do you have that? It's just the future, and I don't know if, I know it's wrong because it's illegal. But
no, it's not that it's illegal. It's that it's very, 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 very dangerous. Like it's very dangerous.
Well, I mean, and that's potato.
What's dangerous about it?
A little brain cancer here and there.
Listen,
everything gives you cancer.
Stupid ass choices.
No, it is.
They're dumb ass choices, and if
it's the people running the sport that are kind of forcing the choices.
So you're feeling like it needs to come from more top down.
Oh yeah. The problem is at the top. Yeah. It's the guy that is trying to do his best that can't get noticed because
it's like if Big Bicep Cerna over here wants to go and play some baseball.
What?
Show the camera. And he can't because he's not doing. He in order to be at that level, he has to do steroids.
Because there's no natural talent. We can equate it to singing. You have a lovely singing voice. It doesn't matter anymore. You're going to be auto-tuned when you get out there. No one's ever going to listen to your song on the radio and think, what a beautiful tone you have to your voice.
Exactly.
How good your pitch is. No, it's not that. That's fine. It's the auto-tune. It's the Britney Spears disease.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the jam into the radio.
Yeah.
I could have made that sound good.
Bruno Mars.
I like
all
him.
About it.
No, but because he's a real singer. But there's
is he? But we like him.
But no, he has
there's
the auto-tune.
There's a little bit of auto-tune, but mostly it's a nice voice.
Right.
But you don't hear that.
But B Spears, that B is phoning it in.
And I'd like to blame her, but it started way before her. But we'll just say she's the beginning of the end, just to make me feel better. But that's what I mean. There's no place anymore for natural talent.
Yes,
because if you try to go in there and be the clean guy that can only
will lose.
That can hit 50 home runs, the big guy that's taking every juice in the world can hit 150, you're going to lose.
So I wonder
or you're going to be playing for the Rays down in Florida.
I wonder when baseball is going to get it together.
Yeah.
The owners keep saying, "Whoa, we're trying to fix this," but they're not.
Right, but what's going to happen is, and they talked about it at the end of last season of football, football may disappear in our lifetimes. They may decide that sport has gotten so out of control it's not.
No, there won't be in our lifetime.
Wait, you think because of injuries?
Yes,
or
because those guys are now 370 pounds. We were just talking about this when I was home. Refrigerator Perry from the 80s,
who was big at the time.
He was considered a refrigerator. He's petite now next to these monsters that are playing. And they're they've changed the helmets. They've changed the way they hit. It's another sport. That's the first sport that's going to go down.
There's too much money in football, and there's too many of those machismo guys that pay too much money into football that are they're the ones that keep putting it in. They're
like,
money. Yeah, let them get bigger. Yeah, we love it.
Lay's and Coke and Toyota.
But you know who's going to start making money off that? Lawyers.
And then
that's the part you're not seeing is all the former players are now suing in huge droves. So every dollar they make, those people that are suing now, Steve Young, Stan Humphries, all these old
Steve
players.
Young sued too.
Yeah, everyone's suing because the doctors were in charge of the concussions. The team doctors, they didn't have outside sources. The team doctors
so the team doctors were like, "You're good, go out and play."
Right, and they kept the knowledge about concussions to themselves. So that's what they're saying. And the reason that football won't go away because people are going to be like, this is terrible. We got to stop. Football's going to go away because people are going to start
bankrupt.
Because if you had a son, you'd be like, you are not getting into that fucking sport.
Well, I can already tell you.
Today, writing here today, literally, I was listening to the news as I was writing here. That is exactly the topic. Is apparently there's been a national survey, and the stats popped up is that the most people said absolutely not. My son will never play football.
Well,
because
so there
of the
will
hits.
not be another generation of football
No,
players
you're right.
because you're setting your child up for mental illness.
No, I would
That's
never.
what's coming.
I would
injury.
not, and currently I wouldn't, and that's why I'm trying to have a gay son. # Steven Cerna, because I want my son to be on stage doing
Yeah.
musicals.
She wants my sperm.
versus, I don't.
We talked about it
I
at
wouldn't.
Happy
I
Hour.
would not allow. I don't think I would allow.
Oh, hell no, Al.
I don't.
He's
I
like
don't-
saying no.
I don't think I
I'm
would.
seeing some personality
allow-
traits I don't want to see continue.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
It's okay.
Unintentional racism.
I want to keep your sperm going.
I'm sorry, Al. You were supposed to be stalking me.
I
What
know.
happened?
But I'm number 2. I can't compete with you staring at yourself for
know.
3 hours. It's disconcerting.
I don't think I could put a son in football. But
What if there's a mirror in the house?
Oh, actually,
God
could have
bless
fun.
it.
Doing
Thank
it in front
God.
of, doing it in front of a mirror could be fun. You guys would both be like, I don't know what that's
He
about.
should
I
love
do it in front of
himself,
mirrors.
right?
Anyway,
Wouldn't
last,
you wanna look at this?
last.
Sorry.
No sport could keep up with Phil Mickelson in the final. And by no sport, I mean no one, in the final round of the 2013 Open Championship in a finish for the ages at Murrayfield in, I believe, Great Britain.
Yeah.
The 43-year-old American buried 4 of the last 6 holes to win the British Open. So go you. He says, I'm playing some of the best golf of my life on his finishing day. And he said, today was one of the best rounds I've ever played. So go, Phil.
And I will tell you that my family at home in New York wet their pants.
Oh, they were watching it all, I'm sure.
Wet their pants over that. And even, like I told you, in May, I went back and I sat
Right.
down to pretend to enjoy the blah, blah, Open.
Mhm.
And then they were going to turn the TV off
You're
for
like,
dinner. I'm like,
no.
motherfucker, I've been watching this shit for 8 hours.
I am
will
ready.
see how this ends.
I want this.
Some other Open happened while I was there, and I watched because my niece's boyfriend loves golf. I went to a golf tournament. I went to a golf awards banquet. I did, like, they're into golf, and I got to play along. It's not hockey. All I can say is, thank God it's not hockey.
Okay.
So I don't go home in the winters. But it's as dull as dirt. But yeah.
But the visuals on a
But
beautiful
they really
TV are
this
nice.
Phil Human, they love him. Oh, the
Yo,
greens
yeah,
on
they
high
do.
def TV
Are
love
beautiful. When I got my mom her flat screen, we were like, we just sit there and watch. It was just a beautiful thing to see.
And there's all kinds of words involved in it.
I
don't
get
understand.
something.
I know they have all this dialogue.
Birdies and bogeys and lions and tigers and bears.
But I want to be nice because I
my.
make them watch movies, so that I do have to play along with golf. If they
Oh,
have
I
to sit
gotcha.
through a movie once in a while, then I gotta watch.
There's
golf.
that. Katie, is that wrapping up sports?
And that's it.
Beautiful.
for
Thank God. Is this over now?
Words.
Al? I don't
I'm sorry.
I don't
Was
even.
that the end of sports?
That's the end of
That's
sports.
I know you hate it.
I feel like
No,
I was
I-
pulling toenails.
I know. I
out of,
love it's mostly I love
Well,
women's basketball.
But I
because
have to
they're
tell you,
hotties.
when Buddy did it, it was just me and him too.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
He would throw in a Minnesota story to get Marnie's attention,
Yeah.
but she would go on her phone during that.
I bet Marnie loves
Perfect.
it, right?
Oh.
No,
Is
Marnie.
she like,
Marnie has something.
"Yes,
Marnie had
oh
something
God."
funny to send me. And I don't know if it's for the
What'd
show,
she
so I
say?
had to answer her back. That's
Gotcha.
what I was texting about.
Is she
I
talking
don't,
shit?
I don't know if you're ready for this or not, but
Probably.
I need just a minute.
Oh.
So pick a quick topic, and I'm just gonna make sure Marnie didn't send in something for us to talk about.
Okay, me too, because I'm ready for
Okay.
another. Wait,
Oh,
maybe
I didn't know you-
perhaps Una Mas.
I'm ready. I'm
Ruthie's-
ready. I'm
Well-
ready.
I don't even
What do you
know.
got?
Go,
Oh, God.
Oh my
Steven.
god, I
I'm
just
ready.
accidentally clicked on penis pictures
What?
again.
Jesus, really? I don't know, Steven. What do you think you have?
Well, I had one of my topics that wasn't announced. I wanted to talk about this Russian president declaring war on the gays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this?
I heard a
Go
little bit
on,
about
tell
that.
us a
So
little
crazy.
bit.
You can get arrested in Russia for being gay. If they find that you're gay, they will arrest you.
Yeah.
And the reason for this is that their population is diminishing. And that is his reasoning.
Is that
because
seriously why? Because he's like,
Yes.
we don't have enough population, so go fuck yourself if you're gay.
He feels that the population is diminishing and that the gays are doing it. I just think it's hysterical.
That's crazy to think that.
Well, and they just
Be
did the
like,
big
oh
thing
my
with.
God, the gays are diminishing our population.
I hope he
so
sounds like that.
I want you all, if you see one, make sure.
don't
I
think
love
he
that he was
sounds
in a,
quite like that.
I love that he was in the Christmas Carol.
Citizens arrest everyone to all the gays. This is a public service
God bless
announcement.
us, everyone.
Everyone.
I literally feel like
you
he's
there
800.
fetch me a goose.
I know what in. I'm not sure about that.
Also, fetch me a goose.
Okay, so Marnie has sent
What?
So Marnie sent us a thing, a picture of a book called Say It Loud, Black Music in America. It's the soundtrack from the documentary series. She calls it International Racism.
International racism.
Absolutely.
I don't know what that's about, but it was fun.
I don't know either.
All right.
So she just wanted us to ring the bell for her. So waste like 2 more minutes because I turns out when I was on vacation, I got rid of my page with all my questions.
Oh, really? Well, we're not ready to go to questions just yet.
Oh, okay.
We're ready to go.
There's questions. I forgot there's questions.
We're ready to go to this.
Oh.
Death Watch!
Oh, wait, I fucked it up.
whoa,
I hate when I do that.
whoa,
Let's do
what do I
Death
do?
Watch
What
is
do I-
here.
I have no voice left. Well, sadly, the only real important death this week was Dennis Farina,
He just 2 days ago.
real life
so
cop
sad.
who went on to play cops in the movies.
Yeah.
And I had the rare opportunity to meet him on an elevator one time.
Really?
And we spent way too long in an elevator talking because I had
Like how
seen way
long?
too many Dennis Farina movies. And he was like Dennis Haysbert, where he was like, okay, you're way too big of a fan. Like, nobody knows who I am. And he was so kind, and he actually like got off the elevator with me and stood and talked to me for a little while.
Wow.
So he was very nice, and he passed this week, and just a long
In
list
Scottsdale, right?
of funny, vulgar
In
questions.
Scottsdale?
Yeah. I think
my God.
He was living in Scottsdale.
it was in an
Living and
elevator in
dying.
Phoenix. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
And,
realize that. Wow, that's cool.
He was a charming man, and he was one of those everyone likes a fan.
87, 56, 57.
I want to say he was in his 60s, but
67.
I don't think he was that old. But it was just so funny because he retired
I feel like he was
legitimately
in
from
his
the
50s
police.
only. It doesn't matter. But
Right, he was a real
young.
police-
He was very young, regardless.
And so that was our only real death. Now,
Well, aside from Corey Monteith.
and can I?
What the
Now,
F
I
did that
missed-
happened within the last week? I can't
No,
remember.
but you guys talked about it last week, and I was trying to send you texts at the right times. I was trying to figure out the time.
Devastation.
That there's people on this list that are still alive, and Phil and Betty are going to be fine because they just got a new great grandkid, so they're going to keep around for a while. The Corey, I thought it was a gag. You both texted me when I was on vacation or put stuff on Facebook. I thought it was like one of those fake
it was
things.
very disheartening.
Who's the guy they keep killing off from Batman? What the hell's his name?
Oh, the
Don't
black guy?
watch it.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
They
they
keep
do.
sending out those fake death notices
Oh,
about Morgan Freeman like every week. I
Okay.
thought it had to be fake. It was
It
heartbreaking.
was very, very sad.
I heard your beautiful tribute to your brother, and I thought that was so nice to say.
It's really hard.
Yeah, really hard when you know somebody and when
To hear about Corey, my brother is alive and well.
right. No.
But-
I know.
But the fact that-
I
yeah.
looked at you right now, and I was like,
Yeah,
we're not talking about this on air, right?
No, but when
Right.
you're
But
talking
it was very sad.
and Marnie's point
69.
about
Dennis Farina was 69.
I thought, yeah.
Okay.
But and Marnie's story about every time you fuck up, you're back to day one, and you're just back to. I mean, I liked what all of you had to say about it, and it was. I don't know, and I think I'm the only person that still watches Glee regularly. In
No,
their
I
You
am.
are, because I've
I am.
And all I could think of, and I know it's a weird thing to say, but Leah Michelle, who's very young, she's only 26 maybe now, maybe 25.
And has had such a devastating heartbreak.
And probably her first big love affair, except for
I
the
think
gay
so.
boys from Spring Awakening.
No,
there's that.
definitely. I
Like,
would say her first big love.
This is
and
probably her first
love
straight
and
guy.
loss, and in Hollywood, all of it. You know,
And
she's
to be
so young.
And now she has to go and play it on TV.
yeah, they
And
have to do a tribute.
They have to do a tribute. And
something.
They announced it.
She now has
Oh,
to.
they have
yeah.
announced it?
They have announced it. that
Yeah,
they're doing
What
a
are they
tribute
going to
to him.
do?
They're going to do a tribute to him. They haven't announced exactly what it's going to be.
They
about.
said they're going to do it.
It'll be the third episode because the
But
two.
she's going to have to go on there playing the character that loved him. And it's
Oh
going-
my
Yeah.
God.
So I
Too
think,
bad.
and it's a tough thing. And Ryan Murphy made the big deal that they asked her first. If she said the show stops, according to him, he was kind enough to say that if
Like if she said we're done.
we're done, I can't do this,
Yeah.
he would have stopped. And they all said, and there was lovely tributes. Jane
But
Lynch was on.
The ratings for that show are bad right now. I think it's going to bring it, but not to say that this.
It'll
should
give a
bring it up,
boost.
but
every-
it
you
will.
know.
It's going to give it a huge boost. I think it'll be the most.
Everyone's going to tune in to see how they handle
Right.
it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's the third episode. The first two will be about the Beatles. He won't be in them. None of them are. They're all written. They're just not.
Oh, the first two are already written.
They're written, but they're not filmed, and they were supposed to be Beatles tributes. They hadn't decided how to bring him back yet because he had exited.
He had already exited stage right because he had had an affair with.
No, he went to rehab, and so they had to write him out of the show.
Wait,
my
and
God.
I know, but didn't he?
No, he went back to be a teacher. He went back to school.
Oh, and
they had to write him out quickly
yeah,
because he was
went
going
back
into
to-
rehab. So what they said was he
That
was
is
going to be a
devastating.
teacher.
So just before they quit filming, he actually went to rehab, and now
yeah,
he's dead.
and he had finished his stint, And it was just sad. So they have to decide how they're going to write the third thing. And
So
and
heartbreaking.
she's 25 years old. This is a young girl in the
Who
press.
was like having a crush and a boyfriend or a love, not even a crush, a love, and she has to
Yeah.
go through this publicly and on her
Well,
show.
And they've been
it's
together for
also
over
a
a year.
thing,
Like, it's not
where
like under
everyone
romance.
wonders, like, I know if we were dating someone, how do you not know that they have a heroin problem?
Okay.
Like, if
No, he
this
was-
was my boyfriend
I know. Please
and I
don't
was boo.
look at her at least.
No, he is.
I'm looking,
No, he
I'm
actually
looking at
is.
her.
This
my
time
God.
he actually is. But I agree with you that
You guys are so ridiculous. I am looking at Katie. I know my screenshot is right behind myself.
that he actually was looking at me that time.
Yeah,
but I
she
will
did.
say I'm with you in that I have
it's like,
watched
I
people
have
on
to-
heroin. I know
Right.
everyone knows that nod off is not normal. So how do you sit
I
with
would
someone in a room and
say
watch them nod off and go,
that
I love you,
if
baby? I don't get it.
My boyfriend
Yeah.
was on heroin. I think I would know it.
You would.
Wouldn't you or not?
You would know that he was different.
Something is going on. Yeah.
So how could Corey Monteith have been such a functioning heroin addict? I mean,
Yeah.
like,
And we don't know that he was a heroin addict. He had.
You OD on
I
it?
don't. I
Well,
from
that
experience.
OD on
means he just doesn't know how to do it well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
That's
from
my guess.
experience, I
Maybe
don't.
new at this.
I can't
Because
imagine.
they never said what he went to rehab for. I don't know. And it could have been.
Unless this was one of his first times, I have not known from experience any one of my family members or his friends that have just done heroin once. That's just not how it works. You
No,
do it
no,
once
I don't believe it. But there's also like snorting heroin.
there are weekend warriors, I suppose, for
Yeah.
a time. But you're only a weekend warrior for a little bit,
Right, and then you go full
and
time.
then you're full time.
And I'm not saying she didn't know or he couldn't do. Or
I have thought of the same thing, and she's not to blame at all by any
Oh,
means.
no,
but,
no.
But I've thought the same thing. How does she not know more? How could she have been with someone who is nodding off in a corner? And I know that that's how
but
they
they said
act.
they hadn't seen each other in a while. That they had been. He was off somewhere else. She was up to.
Yeah,
they're busy
So
people.
she
He
mu-
just made two
maybe
movies.
Maybe he was just really.
Oh, he's got 2 movies in the can that haven't
He's
come
got,
out yet?
he's got 2 movies in the can. Like they're busy.
Oh, wow.
They're
so
busy.
he may have just been super doping up.
Yeah, these
with
aren't
his
people that are
friends.
sitting around their living rooms
No,
every
you're
night.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. I
Like-
don't know. It just is a
Or in a
very-
studio in Central
And
Phoenix.
I always say, like, go see the movie Ray, because it makes it seem like heroin. You can raise 2 families and have a musical career. Because
Yeah.
he got a lot
He
done
got
on
a lot
heroin.
done
a
on
lot
heroin,
of them
right.
did. James Taylor.
Yeah.
A lot of people have.
So, and I think if it really is snorting heroin, that just runs into a really weird place. But anyway, so we were at the Show Tunes night in P-Town, and it really was like, it wasn't like master's degree level Show Tunes, like when you're in Splash Bar in New York, which is closing. But it's not that level.
Splash is closing.
Splash
Oh
Bar
my
is closing.
God, no.
Keep spitting. So P-Town was very like for the masses, the great unwashed kind of Show Tunes, and they did at like around it was like midnight there, so it was like 9 o'clock here. They did a really nice tribute to him. Someone had put together a mashup of like some of his best moments, and they played that. And then later, about an hour later, they did a Somebody to Love with him doing the Somebody to Love from the regionals
I love
final.
that.
Did you cry?
Oh, like a baby.
I would have cried.
Plus, I was trashed, and we were singing. it. We were all singing at the top of our lungs, and it was. But it was to me, it's just hard. I mean, how do you? We were talking about different things, like Katie Sagal on Married with Children had to play pregnant while she lost a baby. Like whenever they write something in that's real, I think that's too hard. Okay.
Okay, you guys had you starting ahead of the show was not a good idea. It is 9:33. We are in the middle of hour 3. Coming up next, thoughtful vulgarity.
And now, Thoughtful Vulgarity, where we, in the studio, try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel and have them try to answer it while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when an important question comes up 90 minutes after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? You're fucked up. What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? You've been warned. Good luck.
Oh, I think that one might.
What?
I think that question just a little too much for all of us today. But I'm going to throw it out there anyways, because we were just talking about. I'll give you a little background. I was introduced to a world this last weekend that was beyond what I could even comprehend. Like I just could not wrap my mind around the fact that people have this much money and just live. I had never seen it, been around it. So everything that they did was skewered through my version of like what I think is my reality. So like what you were saying about your brother. So is there anything that you can do you think there's anything that you can look at without putting your perspective on it? Like, do you think that there's something you can look at just objectively and say what it is without injecting your
art?
Like whether it's somebody's happiness, somebody's marriage, somebody's divorce, somebody's raising
like one of
their
those things
child.
where you, like it's their life and you're like, well, I don't understand how they can live like that.
Yeah, like is there any like can you imagine a situation that you can look at and say I have no bias against this? Like is that possible?
Yeah. Sin City.
Can you look at this show and have no bias, Katie? At this point,
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah,
that's hard because I will admit I'm a judgy Judy, and I inject a bias into any situation that I look at, even if I have no. And I know it's like not cute, but even if I have no experience or no history, I will most likely, Katie, most likely I'll go into things biased. And I sort of hate it because like that's my mother. That's JJ, Jan June.
Yeah.
Jan the Man.
Jan the Man, I remember her.
Jan the Man. And
previous episodes.
And like I remember when I was a teenager and we were driving down the street and there was a kid wearing like a Misfits shirt, walking in the street. And she's like, I mean, look at that homeless punk. And I was like, what the fuck, Mom? He's cool. Misfits are cool. And I now at my age, I'd be like, what, that homeless little punk?
Right.
Like
you become your mother.
Like the people, the people comfortably dressed in the parking lot of 7th Avenue become the zombie apocalypse.
Right. Next to McDonald's and fries.
And I don't, and there have been things that is funny to me, but not really funny, that I've done that with so many times that I have been so judgmental in my mind. Thank God it's not out loud. And I have to think, Katie, this is not you. It's hard. So I don't know if I don't know how many like situations I could look at really subjectively.
Yeah.
And not like put a personal spin on it for whatever reason.
Well, it's like I was watching, AMC has been showing The Breakfast Club a lot lately. I don't know if you've seen that, but.
And I have.
Yes, and 16 Candles and all of
Love
those. And they're showing it over and over again, and they show was it Judd Nelson? Was that his name?
Yep.
That character, and it's like, God, you thought he was so cool. Oh my God, he's so cool. He's the bad boy. And then you look at it now, and you're like, well, was he? Was the guy that was running the thing right? Like, is he going to be the drug addict in jail? Or was he right in everything? And do you look at it and go, no, he was right. Like, why are we here? Why are we here? What are we doing? And I was watching it the other day and going, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong and thinking he's right.
Maybe he's not the bad guy.
No, and most of the time he wouldn't be.
Or maybe he's not the stereotypical bad guy.
Right, the one that was sort of detached in high school and wasn't really paying attention is not going to be the bad guy.
Right.
But the jock kid that was like torturing kids in the locker
is
room
the one that's going to be the drug addict.
The drug addict, because he's got
snorting coke up a prostitute's
time.
tits in 5 years.
And that's what that's when you
You've
look
been
at
there?
something objectively. Like, can you look at that person? And I guess it goes with like stop and frisk or stand your ground or all these laws now with all this like racial profiling.
I can't talk about stand your ground.
But
Still too fresh.
But can you look at something objectively? Can you look at something objectively and say, do I just think this thing is happening this way because of my own biases? So that's
What is this sexual music going on in the background right now?
It's our thoughtful
It's our thoughtful vulgarity segment.
Just let it hit
It's
you.
just-
Let it
it's like
wash
smooth
over you.
jazz.
Let it
Yeah.
let it get
Feel
you.
free to do an interpretive
Thoughts
dance.
from
I don't think.
Deep,
I honestly don't think I can.
What's his name
I don't
on
think
SNL?
anything. What?
Yeah, he is Jack Candy, Deep
Jack
Thoughts.
Candy.
Jack
There's
Candy,
that.
sorry.
You
Go on.
keep
Yeah, we got
working
it.
on that.
That's what I said. Nice with you.
I don't think I can. I think pretty much everything that I am involved in or I look at, I think there's always and more so. I think as I get older, it's I told somebody just the other day, I'm like they were shooting their mouth off about something. I'm like, silence really is your friend. Like you should really just calm down and just quit shooting your mouth off about something. Only because I realized that later on that's going to come back and bite you in the ass. And then I realized, oh, this person does this all the time, and they always create their own drama. So I always
which is a whole other thing. People who just like purposely
yeah.
create that, whether they want to or not.
Right. No, and this person does it all the time. Like everything. And he's always one of those people that's always, it's always some other situation's fault. It's never his own world.
Oh, right.
But I think
Taylor Swift.
Taylor
Swift.
Right. I think I will always interject that, and always, even if I don't do it outwardly and I get involved or I say it to them or the situation, I think I'm always going to put it through that filter in my head. I always do it that way.
I just stepped out of one world and into a whole nother universe of like all straight couples in this atmosphere of like enormous wealth, which I'd seen it on TV, I'd seen it depicted in movies.
It was on Dynasty.
I had never.
Wait, where was your enormous wealth?
The last part of my trip was in Rhode Island, and like these people are like wealthy.
I experienced that in Nantucket when I went to a barbecue and I wore like jeans and a sweater and they were like in fucking pearls and like it was was weird.
Why are you pulling your credit card out?
A credit card out?
What are you buying?
Excuse me.
What are you doing, Katie?
I may or may
Internet
not be
porn?
signing up for Uber.
Oh, that's okay. Uber cat.
So, and I realized, and then there was a bunch of us, and these people, the people I was with were not. We were in the midst of great wealth, but these people I was with were all, upper middle class. All working, all career people, all nice cars, healthy living, but nothing exorbitant. Like they didn't have like pet cheetahs or anything crazy like that.
Right.
And we were sitting there talking about music, and then I realized like, okay, I'm not of your generation, and we just can't have a conversation. Like they were all your age, they were all 31, and I'm my age. It was like we can't have a music, and they have no like appreciation. Like they only know the music
They're
of
weird
today
and rich.
and nothing. Nothing.
Rich people are weird.
No.
They
But
are
this,
super
like
weird.
I said, these weren't. We were in the midst of it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We were in the midst of it. But everything existed as of 20 minutes ago, and anything past 20 minutes ago had no
meaning to them.
Right, yeah.
So when I was laughing about like they're all sitting around singing it's the Steppenwolf song, but
Can you hear the people singing songs of angry
I know the
men?
Steppenwolf something they were singing. Magic Carpet Ride.
No, anyways, I always think of Stop, Look, and Listen.
And
it's like
I am telling
no, because then I wouldn't have been having a good time.
I'm going.
So example number 2 would be this. The other song that they were sampling was I Keep Forgetting by Michael McDonald.
I keep forgetting.
Okay, you need to stop. We're gonna get this show will never make it to YouTube because every song you sing we're gonna get dinged for.
So I spent the whole and I'm like cracking up because they're all singing I keep forgetting we're not in love anymore, and they don't know what they're singing. I'm like, but
they just sing a hook. Is all they're singing.
All they're singing is a hook. But the best part was they were singing a war protest song, but it was a sample of a rap song. But in the kitchen the next day, they weren't. You are just fascinated by yourself. I've never seen that before.
I keep forgetting.
So
I'm sorry, I just got it.
Yeah,
I just got that song.
So they're all in the kitchen making breakfast, and it was like the Big Chill. But they were literally singing a '60s anti-war song.
You guys
but
are
it had
so
no.
Fascinated with me being fascinated by myself. I just want.
Well, I'm so used to Marnie and I having a conversation, so it's lost. I keep looking over here, and you're looking.
And
at
Marnie
yourself.
will never look at herself ever.
She actually hates it.
Well, she doesn't look like me.
So it was so funny to have people like cooking and singing an anti-war song, but they didn't even know what they were singing.
I wouldn't know either, to be honest. If I said, I keep forgetting.
No, not that
it's
song.
Not that song.
No, it's not that song. I just can't think of the name of the song.
You said Steppenwolf.
I think it's Steppenwolf.
I'm going to Google it, goddammit.
But anyways, it was just funny, and I finally had to say, I had to take myself out of it and be objective and be like, this isn't my life. I don't have anything to do with these houses around me. Like, I can't judge them because there's a 15-bedroom mansion behind me that they live in 8 weeks a year. 8 weeks. It's a summer house, and it's like
Born to be Wild.
No, must not be them.
Pusher, Sookie Suicide, Monster Suicide America.
It'll come to me.
Stackhouse?
I probably have the wrong thing. So, but that's the thing about being objective and it was taking myself, and I just saw this question, but to take yourself back that step and say, don't judge, just. This is just them. This is just you.
A different generation.
Just a different generation,
right.
Different socioeconomic set. Just let everybody be their own way and just try to cruise through and find somebody drunk to talk about Dexter with.
Right, and make as few ripples as you can because they're not going to think you, and then they're going to think you're attacking them. If you come at them and
and I was like 2 sentences in, and I'm like, why am I having this fight? I don't know. Like, I don't know your music, and you might be listening to a great artist. I don't know.
Right.
I just had never heard the song before. And I just thought it was funny that they were singing an anti-war protest song while scrambling eggs. And they thought they were singing a rap song about some bitch hoe. You know what I mean? Like, it was just really funny to me.
And probably fine with using the N-word somewhere along the way.
No, I don't think that was in there.
Oh, was it?
Not.
Okay, and now this is a good one for gay people.
Follow-up question.
No, not really. Oh, we got time.
Okay.
How do you feel about this? And Katie, will go to you first on this one too.
I'm excited.
Because you're in another unique situation with sperm donors.
Yeah.
Do you believe in nature or nurture?
Oh, it's so interesting. I believe in a lot of nature because so Palmer is really enjoying, she's 2, for God's sakes, and so she doesn't, she's gonna. It's interesting. She's gonna like the things that we tell her to like in some regards. We bought her a T-ball set, and she can hit that ball like a fucking champion. I was telling Steven earlier, I think she's going to really be an athlete because she can hit that ball, but I don't know if that's nature or nurture. Our sperm donor was athletic. I am not. I can't keep my eye on the ball. I literally cannot hit a ball if it's on a tee. So I don't know.
Well, I'm sure your ADD kicks in somewhere along the way.
Yeah, and I looking at birds and shiny things. But Kelly was a softball player, and so Kelly really wants her to play that and wants her to do soccer and this and that, and so she practices with her and plays with her. But what I think, so she's good at those things, and I think some of that is nurture. But Palmer inherently, since she has been old enough to walk, goes into my closet and pulls out all of my most girly, frou-frou, frilly tops and dresses and jewelry. She opens my jewelry boxes and she says, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and tops and shirts, and pretty. And that's not taught. I have not taught her those things.
Maybe she thinks you own the Muppets.
I mean, maybe. And I have put necklaces on her, and I started making necklaces for her because I think it's fun. But I don't make her, for God's sakes. She wears them occasionally, and she wakes up every day and says necklace, and she points at the basket, and she wants to wear the necklace every single day. And she carries. I did buy her a little purse. I mean, it depends on what you. I purchased her a purse. Yes, I bought her because I thought it was cute, a little mini mouse purse. But I don't say, wear this, damn it. I don't say, wear your headband, goddamn. I mean, I put the headband on, she wears it.
But they also
bless her heart. We haven't had a drink in ages.
We haven't, right? But
Bless
also,
her heart.
kids emulate anything you do. So I don't. If you carried a shovel around all the time, your daughter's gonna want to carry a shovel all the time.
That could be true. You're absolutely right. So it's very interesting. I feel like Palmer's personality is inherent. There are some things that are very me. She is moody, crazy. She has mood swings, and I go, oh shit, that's me.
Before we go to Steve on this point, the nature nurture thing, I think a classic example is Katie and Morgan. 10 years apart. Clearly, there was something. I'm going to guess nature.
Yeah.
But
there's a little at 10 years, you're at a little bit of idolization where she's going to mimic you a little bit because for a short while you're her role model, and then later you become her role model again.
I was her role model when she was very young,
and then
then I left,
and then later you become it when she becomes.
Our nurture was very different, very, very, very different because. My parents, I was the first kid, and she was the third. 10 years later, they kind of were just like, whatever. And there are a lot of things about us that are very different. She is a much more diligent, not dedicated. I'm dedicated and I am committed when I do things, but she is more diligent, more type A, more dedicated to a fault, more focused.
She doesn't get distracted and
she
stays the course.
Very, very, very type A, and I am the antithesis of that kind of personality.
I call myself type H. Yeah.
Yeah, I am totally different. And but it's interesting that you say that because we are still.
You're very similar. So that's why I say there's got to be some nature involved in that. Do you have brothers, sisters?
No, I'm an only child.
You are an only.
I am a very only child.
Explains you looking at the screen the whole time.
Yeah, it's all about me. I have a hard time in my relationships because of that. Because
really,
I love my alone time, and I have a hard time with my boyfriend. Like he wants to spend time with all of my boyfriends who want to be with me.
Oh, by all means, I would recommend. I would say that you have a lot of them. That was how long have you and Danny been together?
4 months.
4 months.
4 months, yeah. I my longest relationship was 2 years. Okay. And I have a hard time. with it. I don't like it. I'm definitely like, leave me alone. I don't like touching when you're sleeping with me, especially in Arizona. It's like hot.
They have
It's
air conditioning.
hot.
You've heard of air
Oh my god, I
conditioning.
have air conditioning. I turn it on to 70 degrees, and I'm still like, don't touch me.
You know
It's
what Kelly and I
hot.
do in bed is we literally put like our feet or like this, and that's our affection.
Yeah, I
we're
love
like-
that. I love that.
And you have to negotiate how much foot's actually
Yes, it's true. And it
It's
only
like-
happens before we fully
It
fall
is-
asleep.
I have
I'm like,
cuddling time.
love you, baby, foot on
Yeah.
foot, and then we're fucking done.
Cuddling time is like 10, 15 minutes, and then you roll over, and it's like night.
Oh no!
bye.
In my life, then you get your own room.
I have. Oh my god! I fully believe in
Separate rooms.
Separate rooms.
I don't
like,
believe in couples
or
sleeping
Lucy
together.
and Desi beds.
No.
I completely.
Are you guys both serious right now?
I am
Especially if I'm part of the
so
couple.
serious.
Like for you, do what you got to. But if I'm part
Yeah.
of the couple, we can have our own room
Yeah.
like 2 nights a week. We do the
Yes.
nasty, and then somebody
you do it, get it over with, and let's like.
somebody
bye, I
sleeps in
gotta
the wet
go.
spot, and somebody
I've
goes.
been to,
You
like-
guys are kidding.
Oh,
Oh
and if
my
I could do it,
God.
separate bedrooms, separate bathrooms.
Yeah.
We ordered a bed because we wanted a new king size movable bed, and it came in 2 pieces, and it was like, so it was essentially 2 twins fucking pushed together. And I looked at Kelly and I'm like, fuck you. Absolutely not. I am
Push it
30
away.
fucking 2 years old. I am not sleeping in a goddamn different bed than my partner. Like, go to
Why?
hell. I'm 32. Like, I'm not sleeping.
What do you wanna do with her?
We'll have sex for one.
Oh
Yeah,
Oh
and
no,
then
plenty of time for
done.
that. And then everybody goes
I
separate
wanna-
And then
bedrooms.
everyone goes to
I
sleep.
want to have sex. I want to cuddle.
I might
I
be
want
back
to
to
touch. I
stalking
want
you.
to
Why do you want to cuddle? You want to cuddle?
I want my daughter to climb into bed with us and realize that we are united, like we are united people. I think that there's a bigger piece in my head that Palmer, I know this is stupid, but Palmer climbs in bed with us and we are united by a bed. That
Yeah.
bitch isn't, she's
Yeah.
not going to
No,
fall off in the middle
I get
because
that.
mommy and
All
mommy
right,
don't sleep
get-
together.
I grew up
I'll
in
find
a
the charm
single
in that
household,
story.
though,
Like
so
the
I don't
third
know anything
person
about
makes it
that.
charming, but
Single household.
Yeah, single household. I grew up like my mother. I crawled in bed with her and slept in the bed with her, and it was like there was no dad, so
Yeah.
that was amazing. It was like yay.
Just me and mama.
Yeah, me
and
and
now
mama.
you
But-
tell your partner, I'm sorry, but it's
I'm like, I'm
just
sorry. I
me
still
and
need
the
to go home
baby."
and go sleep in bed with my. No, I'm just kidding.
I slept with my mom till I was 19, like because my dad worked midnight, so
Stop
I would always
it.
call in bed and sleep there.
Right?
So I get that part.
I love
But as far as a partner,
Ruthie's a good gal.
like once the wet spot's made, one of us has got to go.
God, bye. Let go.
Clayton, do you kick a boy out of bed after sex?
Oh, he likes spooning.
Clayton.
He's got it written on his list, like what color spoon he is. What,
No,
what
I'm, the
position
back, I'm
spoon.
the back spoon.
Yeah.
You're a
You're the
cuddler.
back
You're a
Absolutely,
spooner. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm a spooner also. I can appreciate it. Not in the fucking
And
dead
if
heat
you
of
wanted
the
to
summer.
spoon
Not
with me,
right now.
I would. Now that I have this phone, I would set a stopwatch. Like we would
Time's
negotiate it down. I'll give you 20
And
minutes.
you're
Time's
like
up.
in hell.
Oh.
You're watching the whole time. You're like,
Bless your heart.
19,
20 minutes is up.
18, 17,
By the
60. You got
way,
16 minutes left, babe.
I got these shots for us to do. It was
Oh.
Well,
my
Al
gift
doesn't really
to
do
you
shots.
I don't do
guys.
shots, but I'll go get a little bit of vodka and ice.
Okay.
So now nature, nurture. Clayton, go.
Okay.
Being somebody who
Undo them.
being somebody who didn't spend barely any time at all around their biological father, nor did my brother. I would go with the nature because so many characteristics of personalities transcended without being around. So I wasn't influenced by being around that person. Now, on the flip of that, I did pick up a lot of traits of like my mom's father, who I was around all the time. So I picked up a lot of traits from him about just work ethic and the way you do things and the way that I handle crisis in some ways, things like that. So I did get that. So I think I'm gonna venture a lot more daring with nature, but
Yes, I agree.
Nurture certainly does factor in. Certainly does, and I think even to a point where who even as an adult, not just as are you breaking it down just to child rearing years or the younger years? Or are you talking about just any time?
Oh, at any point, like
Because I think a lot of especially in the past 15 years, I think a lot of my reaction based a lot of who I surround myself with.
oh yeah.
So like, around you and around Doug and around Carlton and different people that
Well,
I've
I think the nurture part comes in a lot in your adult friendships. That you start to nurture and you start to become more of a product of your friendships and the people that you're with as an adult. Because in most cases, you leave your family behind or you become your own household.
Right.
Like in your case.
Right.
Steven, your thoughts? Cheers.
Let's finish.
Oh, what's
do
that?
these. We only got
How
about
do we do
4
this?
minutes
What
left.
do we do with the shot?
Well, that's
I bought the shots, so let's all do it now.
Yeah.
It's for
Al's
it was
doing
a
it with
thank you for
vodka.
having me on the show.
Oh, well,
and
yes.
Welcome aboard.
Love you guys, and hope I'm invited back.
So what do
I
we
know
have
I
to, like-
interrupted you a couple times.
what
I'm
you
so
do with
We all
sorry.
do.
They all try.
He would be talking through 3 hours.
These are fun little things.
I guess
though.
Should we do side by
you
side?
take
Yeah,
this-
yeah.
you
You
just do
take
it
the
all.
whole thing. It's
Yeah.
a B52 shot.
So I'll do mine real quick.
That's very little.
Because you had
It's
another shot to
tasty
do.
though. Thank you.
And it's from being adopted. And my mom always clung to the
Oh,
she
yeah.
clung to nature because she was like, okay, we didn't make a gay. So she
Right.
always like, oh, you were just born that way. Like that had nothing to do with us. There was nothing we could
Truthful,
do.
of course.
But the nurture side of it is how much of my parents, and not so much my sisters and I, we have that same age gap as you do with your sister. They're older than me, and I have we have the same voice, all three of us, me and my two sisters. But
Stop it! You do really do.
God,
It's
frightening.
crazy to me how when I met his sister that was here, was it last year she came out?
Yeah.
With,
Can
with
she
your
come
niece?
again?
And it's, I'm like, I don't know how you two are adopted and not blood related because I swear to God, they're identical.
Did I tell you that
But
there was
it's
a couple of friends that my parents are good friends with, and they adopted their son, and he looks fucking exactly like the dad. It is like his adopted dad. It's weird, like creepy deepy.
But I know I got like my work ethic, and my fear of being poor from my parents.
Your
like,
work ethnic
yeah.
and fear of being poor.
Because I work like I'm a Pakistani cab driver.
You do.
But I really do. Like, I think that fear, that being raised by children of the Depression, like, that really
Yeah.
made me into, like, the fear of being broke. But as far as, like, the nature part goes, clearly whoever my mother was when she was pregnant with me just stood in front of a Supremes recording.
And just that's all you heard.
And that's all I heard.
You really think that?
I came out of the womb knowing exactly what the words to the Supremes songs were. Like the
Wow.
first time I heard a Supremes album in the 70s when my sister started dating her current husband,
Yeah.
he brought over the Supremes greatest hits, and
Yeah.
I swear to God, he just put it on and I knew every word. Like, I was up doing when the love light stars start shining through your eyes. I just had
Can
it
you
down.
sing it really quickly for
When
us?
the love light stars shining through your eyes made me realize I should apologize.
Yeah.
Steven, your turn. Not for singing, but
I
finish the
swear, my
question.
mother knew she was gonna have a gay man. I was her only child. That's all she ever wanted.
Was a gay son?
Yeah, she wanted a
Stop
gay
it,
son.
really?
I swear to God, she is not upset that she's never gonna have grandchildren because I'm her only child, and we're best friends.
But you still could.
And
You don't even have to share a bed with somebody. To do
I
that.
still could, but she like my first movie. I swear was The Music Man, and then it was like Chorus Line came after that, and it was what were the other musicals? Camelot.
So she raised you gay.
She raised me gay. She raised me gay, and I remember my first sleeping bag was a Rainbow Bright sleeping bag.
Stop it, because
That I
you,
had
like,
to go
half
to the
wanted to-
YMCA camp out with a Rainbow Bright sleeping bag, and my mom's like, "Well, I saw the rainbow, and I knew you liked rainbows." And I was like,
so
"I got
she's
made fun of."
Sort of wanted
Hold
a
on.
like daughter, but sort of also wanted a
Yeah,
gay son.
she wanted.
So the
yeah,
first time
she
you
made-
shoot Skittles
She
out of
couldn't
her
be
ass, she's
sure.
gonna be excited.
It was like she knew she was raising
Chase the
a man.
rainbow.
She was,
I
my
wish
mom
you were
was
gonna
the
be-
first
That
fag
bitch.
hag. I swear.
I wish you were going to be in Dancing with the Bars, and you could like do a spin around like in the
I
air
was,
and Skittles
I
up the
know.
booty.
I'm so upset that I'm not in Dancing with the Bars, and I'm so looking forward to you doing
I hope you vote for
it.
me. God
I
fucking
will
damn
be
it.
there and voting for
Al,
you.
you have a seat at my table if you're
Yep.
not already aware.
It's this Sunday or next
It's
Sunday?
this Sunday.
This Sunday.
Coming
And
up
then-
Sunday.
Doors open at 5 p.m. And
Wow.
before we go, I just want to do another short plug, Clayton, if you're okay.
Go.
KatieJune.com. You do have to do a click through from Facebook, but just because that my fundraising website was set up on a Facebook page, and that's okay. Katie June, www.katiejune.com, KATYJUNE, and it
.com.
and the money all goes to help the Joshua Tree Feeding
Yes.
Program, which is an organization
good.
that provides food and pet food to low-income families and individuals afflicted with HIV and AIDS. It's a good organization, and I thank you for your help. We have 1 week left to fundraise.
That's right.
Can
This
I do
Sunday.
another plug real quick?
Hurry, we
for
got-
my show. It's Hairspray over at the Halo Center Theater. It runs through the end of August. We have Thursday night, Friday night, and 2 shows on Saturdays. I play Corny Collins. It's amazing. You will love it. Please look up on my Facebook. All the information is there. We would love to see you there.
Very good.
There you go. Steven Cerna, our special in-studio guest on this
Thank you.
Tuesday evening. It's the show. We do it every Tuesday night, 7 to 10, Phoenix time. Katie June is here. Al Perkins back from his little hiatus. Thank you for Al for coming back and joining us again.
There was a chance for a minute I wasn't coming back.
I was afraid of that, actually. It's what I was thinking. Bears were going to abduct you.
No, until the conversation about music on the beach, and the song was "Stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going round." So they're all singing that, doing dishes. I'm like, that's a war protest song,
they
right? They're like,
didn't
no,
give a
they
shit.
don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the song.
Buffalo
It's the end of
Springfield.
hour 3. Thank you for being with us. It is every week we join you from 7 to 10 coming out of Central Phoenix. It's the show with Clayton McKee. That is me. Thank you for joining us in the chat room around the world and all the ships at sea. We will leave you with this comforting thought each and every Tuesday night. We will see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
I love that I don't know where the camera is.
Listening to the show on Q Talk America.